All right, let me check if we're live. Should be live. Yeah, looks like we're live.
Nice.
Yep. Okay, I'm just gonna make a quick post, so maybe there's a increased chance of somebody seeing it and joining us. Doing a hopefully quick stream to research for the upcoming video you guys apparently really want.
Oh yeah, this was user requested,
Yeah,
right?
essentially, even though I actually straight up asked them not to request it, and yet they still want it.
Okay, I know very little about who this guy is.
I know nothing about who he is except that he is it seems to me really fucking stupid and arrogant and okay. Oh, Sierra,
you did
hi.
say it was
Apparently
going to
we
be
already have a chatter.
inflammatory. Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I
I'm
should
gonna
probably
be
have that
inflammatory.
open.
Well, hi Sierra. You caught a stream that will hopefully be a little fun, but most likely very infuriating for me.
That's
Because
fine.
I didn't want to do this, but my viewers probably did. And I have my friend Zed here to help me suffer through the bullshit that this guy's gonna say, I'm sure.
Get on with it. Let's get on with it. Come on, let's go.
Yep.
I'm really curious to hear what the fuck this guy said to piss so many people off.
Well, he pissed me off a lot. He pissed some other viewers as well. And I might show in the comments later, he just would not hear anything. No matter how patiently or politely people explain it to him, he just sticks to his own very bigoted views.
All right.
So let's start.
YouTube videos are making him out to be, you are in the right place. But before I get into that, I want to take a moment and leave a disclaimer. Now, if you want to skip past this, I will have chapters that I will include in the video after it's uploaded. But I want to say this preemptively because I expect this video to ruffle some feathers.
Oh yeah, it'll ruffle my fucking feathers.
Of the Lee Chalon community, potentially. I want to say, number one, I am not a Lee main. I never claimed to be. My main character for many years has been Lei Wulong, who's not even in Tekken. But I don't need to main your character. I have 30 years of experience in this franchise, and I am exceptional when it comes to breaking down a character. And to be quite honest...
And you'll see exactly how hilarious that statement is in retrospect. Because I've seen selected clips of this, and I didn't really want to watch anymore, but what I did see, it just shows he has absolutely no idea what he's talking about, and he has no idea what the data he saw actually means. But we'll get to that.
Okay.
Over the last couple of days, I've been seeing video after video of YouTube creators and some Lee mains complaining that their character is dead, quote unquote, their character is worthless. If I didn't know any better, I would swear that the character was actually the worst character in this game. So I don't expect to change the minds of some of the OG players that main Lee Chalon. So this video is more so for like some of the newer players who just, if you really want to hear a different perspective, then this video is definitely for you. And I have no problem engaging in the comment section. If I'm wrong on certain things, I'm open to being wrong. This video...
yeah, I might show later that is just the most funny statement in retrospect, because I've seen some arguments he had, he just did not want to hear anything anybody says and just reverts to, oh, I have the objective fact-based data, which is complete bullshit.
Video is not meant to disrespect anybody or admonish anybody's opinion. This is just things that I see based on my years of experience in Tekken and what I've actually seen of this character. So like I said, there'll be chapters in this video. I'll do my best as I can. This will not be an exhaustive breakdown because that would take me a lot longer.
All right, let's skip a little bit. Lee's up forward 3+4 is a great move to establish solid frame frame advantage. Let's see what he says then, and I'll say why that's bullshit.
Anyway, let's get after it.
I need to zoom this in.
So,
because I don't know the frames on this. This is
yeah,
+5.
it's just a +5. It's just a simple +5. Not super scary. And let's see what he says. Transition to Hitman stance goes from +5 to +8. Yes, but also the Hitman moves are slower. Like the fastest move he has from Hitman is 12 frames. And the second fastest and least risky move is like, what was it, 15, 16 frames? It's not any sort of real frame advantage. Like, they can always challenge it, and they can definitely sidestep, especially now. And this +5, well, there's not much Lee can do. Like, he has some pokes, he has no scary lows, like, he has no Hell Sweep, no Demo Man, nothing to take you off your feet, nothing to really threaten. His scariest lows are from crouch.
Yeah.
And, like, you can't use your frame advantage if you have to go into full crouch first. But let's see what... For those saying it was never to use this move because it's a high, that's interesting. Okay, we'll see what he says, but yes, because it's a high, it's exceptionally risky. Because they can just launch you, and I've had people duck this, either accidentally or on reaction.
Yeah, it's like 22 frames,
Okay,
which means it's slower than Heihachi's down back 2, I think.
Yeah, it's very slow. It's very slow, it's reactable. And it's linear, so it's a high that's super linear.
Yeah.
Without any significant frame advantage.
Anyway.
Let's see what he said here, I missed it. I could swear that I've seen this move from somewhere.
What? Oh, come on.
The exact same move. I look at exact same move. -1 startup frame, lol. Look at it, +9. You want to call that the exact same move? It's +9. Yeah. And he has faster moves from stance and scary moves from stance.
Yeah. God damn, yeah.
Fuck it. Let's slow it down. Look at what Jin is doing here. It's +9, not even going into stance. So just a +9 in neutral. Like, he has the reach there to do something else. And he's gonna be right up in your face if it's at the wall, which is the best place to use it. And this guy, exceptional at breaking down, he says. Can't see the obvious difference in fucking frame advantage. That's right there. And he says, oh, it's basically the same. It's the exact same move, he says, even.
I mean,
we're not even though,
you're basically at a 50-50 already.
Yeah, we're fucking.
You don't even need special like stance moves or anything. You're just at a mix-up situation. You can't sidestep. You can barely do anything. You can only like block or duck, and that's it.
Yeah, let's not forget that Jin has a fucking Hell Sweep. Yeah, he actually has a scary low.
Yeah, that's true.
Fucking hell, and dude, we're less than like 2 minutes in if you skip the ramble at the beginning. And we're already
this is
seeing
why
this.
I was worried since it's a 42-minute video because we're gonna stop this.
Yeah, we are. That's why I'm keeping him on +2 as long as. Even if plus frames were the same, Jin still has good killing mix-ups compared to Lee's punishable mid, seeable low. Yeah, exactly. Like Hell Sweep is very scary. It puts you in a terrible Loki situation. And he has, also decent poke lows that already kind of lock you down. They are arguably reactable.
Head towards you, so you're kind of fucked.
Yeah. So he also has from there Hell Sweep that he mixes with his launching mid, which I guess is punishable. But he also has the electric, which tracks pretty well actually. So he has a lot of scary moves. So let's continue to do this. This begs the question if it's good. It's not good for Lee because Jin has fucking scary moves from there and then a bigger frame advantage.
The most Lee can do is like
he has a 21 and 22 frame low, right? Which, one is on the edge of being reactable, the other one's definitely reactable. Maybe not online, but definitely reactable. One of them leaves him at -1. The other one leaves him at like +3, but also there's some distance. And the down 3 is launch punishable, and it's -1 on hit. Also, these are all pretty much step. I think down back 3 isn't that steppable, but the rest are you can just sidestep out of them. Maybe not specifically from that frame advantage, but maybe now you can.
Yeah, but that's exactly what. So Lee just gets a poke out of it, and Jin can get a shitload more.
Yeah, This was not made by a League player.
Advantage.
Dude just went into practice and tried all the moves in the move list without taking anything else into consideration. Yeah, exactly, which is what we're gonna see later, which is what I've seen from watching like 7 minutes of this. And yeah, he said, "Oh, I'm not a Lee main," but he claims he's exceptional at breaking down characters because he has 30 frames of experience. We'll see how bullshit that is. 30 years of experience. What did I say? 30 frames?
30 frames, yeah.
I'm thinking too much. I'm thinking about Tekken too much.
First move I want to cover is one of the most panic-based moves in the entire franchise of Tekken.
Oh, I know what
this better not be the one that I told you about. It better not fucking be.
It is. It's definitely that. It's the magic 4.
Breaking down Lee's back 4. Oh my fucking god. Panic move.
Back 4?
Back 4.
Yeah.
Back 4, 20 frame panic move. Let's get on with this.
Okay, so I thought I was going to talk about the magic 4, but how the fuck is this a panic move?
22 frame startup. No evasion, 22 frame startup.
The magic 4, not the fucking back 4.
Oh, yeah, but magic 4 is a good panic move. It's pretty decent. You can use it. Well, in theory, you can use it. Everybody has too much frame advantage now. But in theory, you can use it and just launch off of that. But back 4.
But Magic 4 is more like Steve's back 1. Like, you're supposed to get the timing and then like launch them for it. It's as shitty as a panic move as. Like,
because it also is punishable and it's even minus on hit if you go for.
Keikachi's 1+2 is a risky panic move, but it's more of a panic move since it's like 10 frames.
Keikachi's 1+2 is like -10. Lee's 4-3 is -13. I think, or -14.
How is back 4 a panic move? It's slow as shit.
Let's see what he fucking says.
It is one of those moves that is infamous in terms of...
Tracking from back 4 into HMS removed. Yeah, I did mention that in the comment. I don't know what he replied. I didn't want to read it. But yeah, it was nerfed from Tekken 7. And it was already nerfed slightly on the damage on normal hit in Tekken 7 in the final season. But the tracking was completely removed in Tekken 8.
Being a panic move, comeback move, whiff punish, whatever you want to call it.
Whiff punish!
How the fuck are you gonna...
A 17 damage whiff punish at 20 frames. When you have Acid Storm, 15 frame long reach launcher. Fuck. Oh my fucking god.
Yeah.
Is what it is. And for many years, this move has remained safe. It's a counter hit launcher, it's 20 frames. However, what some of you may not be aware is why is
this... And shorted. I mean... It's the range. It really isn't something that I want in a fucking whiff punisher, but okay.
Effective panic move. What makes this move stand out from some other moves out there?
Okay, let's see. Let's give him a chance.
If you actually direct your attention to where it says attack startup frames, this is something that a lot of new players, especially, and maybe even some pros, are not aware of.
No.
If you look at the attack startup frames, you see how it says 20-22. What that means is that the attack will make contact with the opponent on the 20th frame. However, it has 2 additional frames where the move is still active. So if you happen to be pressing into Lee, which ironically is really part of his game because Lee wants you to press buttons into him, no homo, no diddy. So I'm gonna show this right quick in photo mode, right? Watch this. Okay, so now we're gonna go to photo mode. Okay, so we're gonna advance it a frame, right? Okay, gonna advance it a little bit. 7. Okay, let's go a little bit more. It's coming around. So typically, right around there is when it is making physical contact on your opponent at the 20th frame. However, since frames really matter in this game, if by some off chance, and this is what ends up being the case most of the time, if you happen to be pressing a button, even after that 20th frame, up to 2 additional frames, you will be hit on counter and lose damn near 100 damage.
He's saying that like you can, react for like 2 frames quickly.
Yeah, I really don't get what he is.
What is his
he's
point
saying
here?
That Lee can like sometimes roll the dice and have that catch them, or am I misunderstanding?
Yeah, I don't know what his point is.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, it's a keep out move. It's nice that he has a little bit, but it hardly defines the move.
No, like a panic move is something that you throw out when fucking Brian is beating the shit out of you.
Yeah, it's something you throw out when they're in your face, like mashing your face.
Like if Hwoarang is mashing the shit out of your whole body with his stupid ass fucking legs, and you just do a back 4 and it saves you somehow.
Unless you're on the other side of the screen, the back 4 is risky if used more than once or twice in a row. Yeah, like like Zed here was really struggling with a lot of keep out and back 4 in particular. I gave him like a 15-minute drill to explain how to deal with it, and like he was instantly being able to get in and apply pressure on me. Like it's really not that good. Like, sure, it recovers quickly, but if they see you're just spamming it, they can place themselves in range, and as soon as you whiff, you just fucking hit you with an advancing move.
Yeah, I mean, like most things. Okay, this is why, for example, like the electric is so good is because of the recovery frames on it. So you use it in a similar way, I guess, where like I sometimes just throw it out just to tell people to fuck off and not get in my space.
Yeah, it's kind of a pace setter. It's to dissuade them from just mindlessly rushing in. It's a good move. Well, it was a pretty good move. Now it's weaker for some reason. But it's not what he's fucking making it out to be here.
And let's not talk about how safe this is also.
Like, it's almost like saying, I don't know, like it's a power crush when it's clearly not. Like, it doesn't make even any sense. Like, oh, this is your tempering punish. No.
Yeah, Tekken characters have so many ways to deal with Lee's back four compared to other games. Yeah, there's so many moves that just very quickly advance. You have to be on point with your timing. It's not just a keep out that you can just throw out. I mean, you're still kind of gonna use it like that, but you have to be very on point with your timing for it to be like actually effective, because they can just get in very easily. And it's not like some moves like Mishima's standard FF2 except Reina's, where, okay, if they block, you kind of force a mix-up on them. There's a lot of characters that have an advancing move which forces a mix-up then on you, so what did you accomplish exactly?
Yeah.
Because this move has next to no recovery time. Next to no recovery time. This is why a Lee player can essentially run this move ad nauseum. With
no, we just went over why he can't.
Minimal risk, okay? And then on block...
It's not minimal risk. It can be low risk, ideally. It's not anymore, as I just said, with all the forward advancing force.
I mean, even Reina can take advantage. I didn't think about this before, even though I played Reina when I played Tekken. Is that you can get a very easy launch with forward 2 into like Sentai 3 into heat. Okay, it's not a launch, but you get a follow up, and you could kill you off with
it's a significant amount of damage.
The move is -3, so the move is safe, basically. So after...
No, it's not basically. It is literally safe at -3. I mean, it's still kind of, you have to think about what to do after that. But it is literally safe, but it's not amazingly safe. It's not fucking plus and block. My man even...
you can still sidestep.
My man even tried spamming back 4 to prove a point, but got back 4 instead after 2 of them. Truly a reliable source of information. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Like, it happens sometimes, and backpack 4 is also a pretty good move, but it does not recover nearly as fast. And if you mess it up, they can just easily whiff punish you for it. Well, maybe not easily, but more easily.
You block a back 4 and you're -3. Let's just say if you just so happen to want to mash buttons and try to, press your advantage.
Oh, if you just so happen to want to mash buttons.
This is what can possibly happen to you.
Okay.
You can get hit with that.
Yeah, you could. But why would you? I mean, you can try to go for mid and catch that. But I mean, it's not like...
What is... Wait, no, like... So he's trying to paint like -3 as an advantage. Like, oh, you still have options after you do a move. That's not fair. You should, like, if you do a move and I block it, it should be my turn now forever.
Yeah, no.
Like,
dude, it's a fucking 20 frame move. I would hope it's not that fucking serious. I mean, yeah, a +3 is not the end of the world.
Remember
it opens up Lee's
gameplay. No, remember the Doom gameplay.
Oh yeah, we'll get to
yesterday.
that. We'll get to that.
It's definitely possible that some people are that delusional.
Yeah, you're showing the fucking him doing a power crush, but then you're blocking it, and it's a high power crush. Like, yeah, you check it with a jab. You see it's a power crush, you block it, and it's high. Then you fucking launch him. You can launch.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course you're not going to be completely locked down from like -3. Like, you still have options. Yes, it's a keep out move, but the problem, I mean, it's a keep out fucking move. That's it. My electric is +5. Like, and it's not that, like, electric is difficult to do consistently, but like when you're high enough, like when you're skilled enough, it's not that difficult. You do it basically on instinct.
Yeah.
So that's +5. Now what? Like, I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can fucking hell sweep you if I want.
Depending on the move that is used, you may be on the receiving end of a Lee armor move.
Yeah, and you keep showing that you're jabbing, blocking it, which means you can duck and launch it.
Naturally, if the opponent is just throwing a 10 frame jab, I believe if it's 14 frames and higher, you will eat that armor move from Lee. So even though Lee is -3 on that move, he is not without some form of options.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
well, that would be really nice if, every other character just doesn't have to think about what they do next after you block their move. Again, just throw out whatever the fuck they want.
I think his problem with this is that like it can connect at 20 frames, and at 20 frames, it's a launcher, which like okay, but the thing is like my down back 2 is 21 frames.
Yeah, on Heihachi.
And yeah, on Heihachi, it's semi-reactable, not exactly, but and I don't get a launch out of that. But I also high crush.
Yeah.
Like it's a different application for this. Like 20 frames for a mid like this is extremely risky in like a game such as this, because you can get like hit out of it easily and then launched and juggled for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And so the complaints that I've been hearing and reading is that back 3 lost 3 points of damage. 3.
Yeah, which you use for combo starters, you use for combo enders. It makes it a lot less useful.
3 huge points of
Here
damage.
are the dreaded Lee armor moves, which are both high and not terribly quick.
I don't know why people were bitching about high power crush heat engager so much when the mid ones were so much worse. Because if you jab check a high power crush, you can duck and launch. If you jab check a mid power crush, all you can do is fucking take it.
Yeah.
So, seriously.
Main points of the updated patch notes that Lee has suffered a quote-unquote nerf on his back 4, and upon
it is not quote-unquote, it is literally a nerf. Mathematically, it's just a nerf.
It's a nerf. Yeah, it's a weaker move than it was in the previous patch.
By definition, it's a nerf.
Yeah.
Investigation, I learned that it's still a counter hit launcher. It's still.
Wait, did he say investigation?
On his back 4.
Oh shit! Yeah, this is only a counter hit launcher.
Yeah,
it's not a natural hit.
No, it's a counter hit launcher. You have to be making a mistake for it to connect, or Lee has to read you.
Okay, so how the fuck do you get counter hit launched with even a 20 frame move? I mean, it's not a panic move. You can counter hit launch Lee for that.
Yeah, it's 20 frames. Like, do it. A panic move. You have to be -10 for it to trade with a jab. And if you're -10, I'm just gonna fucking acid rain you for 47 damage.
Also, you're never gonna like. I think when I play Lee's around my rank, except for the really capable ones, the move they actually use as a panic move is down 3.
Yeah, because that actually is functional as a panic move, because it's very quick and it's high crush after a few frames.
Yeah, I mean, that's a panic move. Who the fuck will use this as a panic move? What?
Upon investigation, I learned...
Upon investigation, he says. He carefully went through the frame data, looked it under a magnifying glass, ran it through a DNA scanner, and he discovered that it still has a counter hit launch.
That it's still...
Wait, I said in my disclaimer that this video is not aimed at changing the minds of a Lee main, but give a different perspective. Okay, why was Lee such a problem? Like, what the fuck?
This quote just kills the entire video. Like, who else should be a part of the conversation but literal mains of the character? Yeah, like, of course. And
I mean,
he also said he's open to conversation, and he could be wrong, change his mind. But I might look at the comments later, and we'll quickly prove that that was just a big fat lie.
No, but let's not like talk about Lee, because Lee isn't the problem. You know who the fucking problem is? Like
literally everybody else.
King. Yeah, literally everybody else. Like, give King a homing throw in heat, because why the fuck not?
Yeah, give him a homing throw. I think it was still homing that wall splats you for everything.
Yeah, and all of his throws are now homing.
Yeah.
And you can't tell the difference between
not all, I don't think, but the Giant Swing and Shining Wizard in heat are homing,
Yeah.
What is he smoking? I don't know. That's what we're here to try and find out. I assume it's one of the most unhealthy drugs that we've put in.
I don't know. Like, when Boss brought me over and mentioned this, he was like just basically ready to let like hell loose on this guy. I was like, okay, let's like maybe. Damn, that's intense. But as I'm watching this, it's just fucking stupid. Like, this isn't even stupid. It's goofy. But okay, let's keep watching.
Hit launcher. It's still safe at -3. It still comes out at 20 frames. It still has 2 active...
You say it still comes at 20 frames like that's a fucking fast move.
Frames to actually enable
and that's 20 frames at that like it connects in 20 frames at like a 0 range, basically. So if you're right in front of their face, if you're a bit further away, it's like 22 frames.
I'm not sure if it's distance or axis that determines it, because it's a very fucking niche situation for like moves that are more than
and that's why I was
one
confused. Yeah, that was why I was confused why he's even talking about that, but it doesn't matter.
Just as deadly as it was for like the longest time. So the issue is that it has 3 missing points of damage. That's the big complaint.
Okay.
Yeah, you use it as a combo ender. It fucking adds up, and as a combo starter, you use it twice. That's less damage.
Okay, I'll also like what I agree with him that it's barely a nerf.
Yeah, but it's still a nerf. Nerf? Let's say you launch with it. It does 3 points less damage, right? And then you want to do a combo ender with it. Well, that's also 3 less damage plus scaling. So you're losing out like 4 to 6 combo damage on that probably.
Yeah.
But that's significant. 6 is significant.
Significant.
People go for a harder combo to get the 6 extra damage.
Yeah, definitely.
So instead of taking 20 damage, apparently it does 3 points damage less. Okay. Let me explain to you
how this video is going. I wouldn't be surprised if you tried to claim while sending 2-3 instant tornado as a buff to the character.
I hope he doesn't, but we'll see.
What a real nerf would be to back 4. Because I don't think a lot of players even understand what a nerf and a buff really mean. So let me help.
But does it need a nerf?
Oh my god! I heard this part. This is so stupid. Listen to this. I'm gonna fucking lose my fucking mind again.
And I'll be very forthcoming. If back 4 was -12 on block, that's a nerf.
No.
What?
No. -3 damage is a nerf. Being -4.
That's an obliteration. That's not nerfing. That's obliterating the move.
That's saying, okay, we don't want this move to exist anymore, but we are against removing moves from characters, so we're just gonna make it unusable.
That's basically. Oh, I want Keikachi's to fucking launch punish this move. Why though?
-12.
He probably kept getting hit by that.
Yeah,
and is salty about it.
Just give Law F3 and back to your loops and delete Lee at this point, TBH. I guess, kind of.
That's in fact, if you ask me, I feel that's actually fair, given...
It's actually fair! A counter hits 20 frame, no evasion move. It should be -12 to be fair. Only launches on counter hit, super fucking slow. -12 is fair for a move like that. So you fucking block it and fucking do, depending on the character, between like what 28 and 65 damage on it.
Just let's keep going.
Like you never fucking use it then.
The fact that the move is a very deadly panic move. It's a move that's
panic move.
It's not a panic move. Yeah,
panic move. I said, dude, it bears repeating though. They have to be -10 for it to trade with a jab. Because it's 20 frames. If they're -10, I'm hitting them with Acid Rain for 47 damage. How's it a panic move? You retard! I genuinely, when I first saw this guy's name pop up, I was reading it as red retarded. And you can see why. It was just a premonition.
Man. Yeah.
-3 on block. And the fact that it's a counter hit launcher and has 2 active frames.
Yeah, Brian's orbital is safe and a normal hit launcher. A lot of order orbitals are as well. And you want this to be a fucking -12 because it's a counter hit launcher. Fucking actual fucking troglodyte.
Ensuring that the move is still on the screen for 2 additional frames after it's whiffed, really?
That almost never fucking is a factor.
So I failed to sympathize with the lead player that's complaining about the so-called nerf of back 4. Like I said, if back 4 was -12, then you would have an argument. But
no. If it was -4, it would already be a big nerf. If it was -9, it would be basically unusable. If it was -12, it's literally unusable.
Like, if you really wanted to nerf it for whatever fucking reason, you put it at, like, -6.
I mean, they already nerfed it twice, between the final patch of Tekken 7 and the transition to Tekken 8.
But I don't think he understands the language that he's working with. Is the point of what the point of the move is in the fight is that it can, like we mentioned at the start, it's to control the pacing. It's just like, hey, you can't, when you're playing against me, you can't really rush in with just like a complete maniac unless you're Alyssa. Then feel free. Because chainsaws fucking.
I feel like people should try to character test him out for a respectable duration of time before giving these kinds of takes. Yeah, it's not even just that. It's that he is so fucking prejudiced or bigoted in his points and his opinions that he will not listen to much better players than him who have made the character for literal years. I mean, I've only been serious about Tekken since Season 3 of Tekken 7, but that still means I've played the character for like, what, 4 years at this point? I got him to GOD in Season 1. At this point, because I'm much better than I was back then, I could reach TGO in Tekken 7 if it was still played sufficiently with him.
Yeah, I mean, you can learn like quite a lot of Tekken. You don't need like 30 years of experience. It's not like fucking chess where it's like, oh, you're almost a grandmaster, but you don't know the reverse donkey paw fart magic move that eats your queen and fucks your wife. It's where you have like almost infinite depth on all sides that you have to consider. Like, you can learn Tekken without requiring 3 fucking decades of dedication.
You think, though, that somebody with 3 decades of experience would understand what a fucking panic move is?
Yeah, well, that's the point. Like, this is unfortunately like I feel like a fundamental. Even though like I entered fighting games like less than 2 years ago, something like that. I didn't even like them before until this asshole got me hooked.
You're welcome.
So. Yes, fuck you.
Well, he over there, you don't pay into this.
But no, it's like that's not the point of like what this move is supposed to do. You're not supposed to use it to like fish for like counter hits at point blank range. It's supposed to set the pacing and set like the space where you're working. And the problem with the rest of Tekken is that they're breaking that by adding bullshit that circumvents like those aspects of character identity.
Yeah,
that's the biggest issue with Tekken. That's what we should be focusing on. But this guy is just focusing on who does he main, by the way?
He said he mains Lei, like Lei Wulong.
Well, who does he main in? Like, I don't give a shit.
I think I heard him say he plays Raven, but I'm not sure. I don't remember too much.
Oh, Raven. Okay.
Roberto points out that at least I didn't make you play League, which
yeah,
funny
I
statement.
made myself play League a long time ago and I regretted it.
Yeah, and now you're trying to get me to play League, or at least try it.
Yeah,
for
so
fun.
I can Schadenfreude basically.
Yeah. No, Dota's better.
So I wouldn't use the word Schadenfreude for Dota. Well, sometimes I would actually.
Then you would have an argument. But I'm sorry, I cannot co-sign the rage behind a move that's going to allow a counter hit launch that's going to take you from one end of the galaxy to the next and result.
One end of the galaxy. Yeah, of course. Like watching. Who the fuck was it in Colosseum? That can carry you from like the start to the wall now. Fucking everybody!
Everybody!
Like they gave everybody 68 different tailspins and 100. Well, it's probably fixed a little bit right now, but
no,
was it
no,
Anna?
It isn't, because characters who they didn't nerf the pushback or anything. They didn't limit how many tailspins you can do. Characters who didn't have strong tailspins got strong tailspins. So you got 2 bounce and 2 tailspins and possibly something else.
Like fucking even Asuka now has like wall carry and wall damage.
There's like 70 moves in Tekken 8 that can do that shit more consistently and better. Yeah, like Lee is not even that amazing anymore.
And that's the problem. Like this should be like it would be in a perfect world. This would be something that could be possibly like discussed, but not like this. But unfortunately, like the scaling in Tekken 8 is just
well, just because you happen to be pressing my move, let me
hit launch. That's going to take you from one end of the galaxy to the next and resulting in damn 80+ damage. Just because you just happen to be pressing a move.
Just because you happen to be pressing.
Yeah, you just happen.
Yeah,
to press a move.
I rolled the dice and it just happened to land on a 14.
I'm just a chill guy pressing moves.
Dude, if you got fucking hit by that, you either pressed when you shouldn't have, or Lee made a read on your timing, or he saw your movement and predicted you're gonna go in.
He also just described counter hits in general.
Yeah, that's just counter hits. I think.
But yeah, exactly. Just because you happen to be.
Yeah, just because you happen to be mashing. It's not something you could control. That's just an act of God that you were mashing.
Yeah.
At the time, out of our control. I can't do it. I can't co-sign it. Let's move on to the next point. So another constant complaint or concern I've heard from League players in general has been regarding his lows. Apparently, all of his lows are launch punishable or something like that to that effect. So the thing with down 3. Now, I don't agree that it should be -15 because that's right up there with Feng Wei. Feng Wei's down back 3. I think I understand the logic that they made that move launch punishable because it is a relatively quick move. It's 16 frames and it is.
And I heard about that. I didn't see or watch this earlier. I heard it from the comments. He's also going to prove that his 30 years of Tekken experience is complete bullshit because he does not even know the staple move from Lee.
I am surprised by that. I want to mash while funny Chinese men scream and launch me. Yeah, exactly. I had that experience as I was learning Tekken, since I was learning with Boss. So I know those. I feel those words deeply as someone who used to be green ranks.
You see what he did there?
Well, yeah, I mean,
you know,
at least attempt to do the back 3-3, like, and fail. That's fine. Like, if you don't play Lee, but at least that's what you would do.
Victor's gonna mash on 1-2, down 3, all that's guaranteed. So I have a feeling that
that's guaranteed, and nothing else.
Yeah, unfortunately, dementia is a bitch, Roberto. He says, "Yeah, well, you're learning. Get 30 years of experience. You're gonna be even worse, apparently."
I have to take him to the comments for this. There was some of the. Let's see. Yeah, this guy.
Oh, if we start digging into the comments, we're never gonna.
No, just this part. Okay, he here reveals that he does not know that you can get a full combo off of Lee's down 3.
Shit,
I was playing ranked for some reason. The characters the characters I came across were mostly blah 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 blah. I didn't fight many Lees, and when I did, I didn't fall for the down 3 as I have tins of legacy matchup knowledge versus him.
That's also not how you write down 3, but whatever.
Yeah, but he's saying that the down 3 counter hit is a launcher, not a follow up for a Lee man. He doesn't understand that. But yeah, okay. Point is, he doesn't fucking know that you launch off of that, and that's why he thinks that maybe it's a little bit cruel that it's launch punishable. For somebody who wants to talk to, make a counterpoint to us dedicated Lee mains, that he's not as trash, he doesn't even know, like, Lee's staple moves, like his character defining moves.
Was that before, like, the only other Tekken that I've ever played was Tekken 7, basically, so, and that was still there in Tekken 7. So was it even earlier than that? How hilarious is this?
I'm trying to. The main reason why they made down 3 launch punishable is because of the fact that it is a very strong high crush.
Was he playing in fucking red ranks?
It's not a very strong high crush. It's a decent high crush. Like in an ideal world, it sets up Lee's mind games because he's -1 there, but that -1 doesn't do shit now.
Okay.
As a Lee player,
so in season 2 Tekken 7, they added a down 3 back 3 pickup. Yeah. Okay. But still, that's quite a long time. Like, I started playing in season 4, was it? Something like that. And I played the shit out of Tekken 7. So, like, in 30 years, God knows how retarded I could become.
Yeah, but it's still, since then, it's been a staple and a cornerstone of Lee's game plan. And for somebody with 30 years...
This is never going to end.
Now, we have his slide. Now, the slide is 25 frames.
Okay.
I don't know about doing the just frame, but...
That's not how you do the fucking slide, by the way. You fucking crouch and you do down, forward, down, down, forward.
If you don't know how to do the just frame, just turn on heat, and then you can see the properties.
He's not even gonna get the just frame there because he's doing it from misstep.
In any event, it's -15. I don't know if I agree with that being launch punishable. However, as you can see, or you may not be able to see, the move is 25 to 31 frames. So what that means, again, much like back 4, that means that Lee's slide will connect on the 25th frame. That's the earliest frame. However, from 25 up to 31, it can still make contact on the opponent. So when you do the move up close, it is -15. However, if I do it at a slight distance, you can see it now become -13.
If you do it from a slight distance, they can just sidestep 1 pixel to the either side sidestep.
No, I want to hear what his point is, because
if I go out even further still, if I time it properly, now it becomes -9, as you just saw. Now, of course, it does take some time to mastering the distance.
Okay.
But maybe that could be a new challenge for some of you Lee players out there to make your slide a little bit safer.
Because they don't have any movement capabilities. They're just gonna stand still.
So if you do it at
is he gonna mention the fact that one of the big things about this move is also the range, which you can basically use it full screen to get close? I mean, it's still dangerous a bit, but
because it's super steppable and they can just launch you normally. It's not like a Laws or Shaheen slide.
Now, which I'm surprised I just did it live in this video, it becomes -9 and it would be then safe. So moving on to the next one.
If you do full screen, you get a whopping 15 damage and no counter hit pickup.
Yeah.
So Hitman 4. Now the interesting thing about Hitman 4 is that this is a 22 frame low sweep. However, if you notice, it is an arcing sweep. It's a literal sweep. Most of the time in Tekken, think Lei Wulong, my character, it lays down back 4, it causes a stagger block. If you block Kazuya's Hell Sweep, it causes a stagger.
Yeah, it used to be that, but now because it doesn't knock down anymore, it doesn't.
Wait, no. He's making the point that the animation, since it's a sweep, it should be launch punishable.
There's a ton of sweeps, even before, from all Tekkens, that didn't cause a stagger block.
However, this low does not. This low, he keeps on going. I don't mind that. However, this low is only -13, which I feel is very fair.
Only -13, so he can just keep going, like, unmolested, like eternally, forever. He can just keep fucking spinning at -13, like forever. That's it. Like, fortunately, while rising moves don't exist, that would be. I'm glad they removed that in season 2, except for King and Jin and Dragunov.
Jin's D4 should be stagger block XD.
What does he mean? You can keep going. You can't keep going. Some characters can launch you for this.
I think he's still just talking about the animation, which is entirely besides the fucking point when you're talking about how good a character is.
What the fuck?
So now,
when you're quote unquote doing data based on the numbers, fucking retard.
This is what the move will look like on counter hit.
Jin down 4 should be stagger block.
So on counter hit, this move results in an actual combo for the lead player. So
okay.
Yeah, well, yeah. If he makes a read on you, or you mash something slow or a string that's a high, yeah, you're gonna get counter hit.
Just recap.
It's also not that good. Like a snake edge is much better for that specific kind of situation. Here you just get an instant bound.
Yeah, you get an instant bound, so it's all.
But I mean, like using it as something to like get under a high and then launch.
I'm pretty sure Snake Edge is all instant bound now, but.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
okay.
but you know, it's still good damage. But dude, it's still counter hit only. Like
yeah.
A lot of other characters have either a full combo from that. Granted, it is stagger block as it should
launch
be.
Punishable, but like this is still punishable. -13 is still perfectly punishable.
Yeah.
You just don't get a launch out of it.
Yeah, unless specific. I think Eddie and Kazuya get it. Maybe somebody else, but you have to be careful against stuff like that more.
No,
not Brian. But he does have strong damage, strong punish from that.
Frame low. That is it also has active frames. That's 2 additional active frames. So
again with the fucking active frames, it's not really anything decisive.
You block Hitman stands for like twice and realize it's less than 15 and probably less than 1/4. It ain't rocket science.
No, it's just brain surgery. Which, you know, something that this guy needs if he's gonna be able to fucking make a coherent thought.
Low can actually hit you on the 24th frame. So not only is it a perfect high crush, not only is it a
perfect high crush. No, it's not a perfect high crush. Like, it still takes a little bit to start for the crushing properties to start up.
A counter hit combo starter, it is only -13. Now, is it launch punishable? Yeah, to some characters, very few. I believe
that's besides the point. That's like very specific matchup knowledge, and that's not what makes this move. Like, it's a good move, but it's again entirely besides the point because it's +4 on the hit, which I don't think he's gonna mention.
I still want to figure out what his main complaint is. Like,
just twin distance, 30 frames. But most of the other cast of characters, no. So it's a pretty solid low. Especially since there's so many different ways to kind of bait your opponent into pressing buttons on you, and then you could just simply sneak this.
Yes, that really isn't.
Don't press buttons on Lee.
Yeah, that's how you beat Lee.
You can find that out in, like, if you look Lee, like how to fight and play Lee, like the first, like how to fight fuck Lee. You just write fuck Lee in YouTube and you'll get Main Man's video, and it just says, hey, don't press into him in the first like 2 minutes if you're learning.
I swear this dude thinks Lee has Xiao Yu AOP evasion. Oh, dude, I dread to even imagine what he's gonna say when he gets to the nerfed evasion part, if he's even aware of it.
Let's keep going. But this is pretty actually interesting. I gotta say.
How to counter Lee? Literally just backdash and block, bro. Except now that his tracking, what little tracking he has, has just been gutted completely. So you can also just sidestep him as well, and everything's gonna whiff probably on hit.
Customs, and you get like almost a 60 to 70 damage combo. Anyway, let's move on to the next low attack. So the next.
He's not gonna take a look at the frames on hit, which is +4, and you can just sidestep pretty much anything he tries after that. So he's not gonna mention that. He's not gonna mention how you have no pressure after that. How you're basically either back in neutral or put yourself in a super risky situation. No, it's just -13, and there you go. Counter hit launcher.
This guy was probably. I think Roberto is right. I think this guy was like red ranks. Like, I can't imagine.
If that, that's only because you don't even lose points until a warrior.
No, I think like red ranks in 7.
I'd be surprised if he made it to red ranks in 7, honestly.
Yeah. Like red ranks in 7 were like early intermediates, and they would at least know some of this shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's a good thing I'm drunk right now, or else I'd be whacking my head into a wall. Yeah. Just wait. You're still gonna end up whacking your head into a wall. The only thing the alcohol is gonna help you with then is the pain. Which also is not a good thing because you're not gonna know when to stop and you're gonna give yourself a concussion.
Let's keep going.
The attack I want to focus on is his fully crouched down forward 4. Now, this
okay.
Move,
yeah, I don't like the buffs on this move, but let's see what he says.
Yes, it is a 16 frame low. Basically, it's the same frames as his down 3, right? So
yeah, except you only do it from full crouch, so it's it's really not the same at all.
Well, you can't like cancel your standing state into it and then
no, like it takes a moment to go into full crouch, dude. Like,
no, I know. I'm just trying to figure out what he's like trying to say here. Let's keep
Tekken 7 rairings do HMS 4 after down 3 counter hit, probably. I actually do remember watching a Tekken 7 local sort of tournament a long while ago, and yeah, there was this one League player who was doing HMS 4 after down 3.
Lee's down 3 is 16. It's a 16 frame startup, and his fully crouched down forward right kick or down forward 4 is also 16 frame startup. However, the difference is that this is minus 14. Okay. Now, this attack, for instance, is launchable by
No, that's really not the difference. Like the difference is that down 3 gives you a counter hit launch. This gives you a counter hit follow up, and that down 3 is -1 on hit, and this is now +3 on hit, which I don't like. But watch my video talking about Season 2 Lee for more information.
Suya at 13, and even my character for Tekken 8 Raven at also 14 frames. However, this move is also a high crush attack, and
yeah, it's high crush because it's crouching state. It's not the attack itself.
You know why I think that was buffed like +3 is because after heat engagers you can go into crouch. So
yeah, I did actually say that. I assume it's because of that, and so you can do stance rush down. But except you can't. Like +3 is nothing right now.
On hit. This move is on hit, +3. And on counter hit, it knocks down for a guaranteed follow-up for 39 damage. So
not even the best guaranteed follow-up, by the way. But he's really good at breaking characters down. Doesn't need to fucking even know what they're capable of doing.
He needed that full crouch down forward 4 buff. I mean, when you compare it with the rest of the shit, yeah.
When you compare it to the rest of the shit, that's not even a drop in the bucket. Like
slightly,
that's a molecule.
Pushes it.
Yeah, slightly, but the thing is, like with the emergency patch that did another number on the how tracking works and how stepping works. Like they did not touch up Lee's moves at all. He already had very weak tracking, and now you can sidestep most things. Like it's super inconsistent.
Yeah.
Like even if it tracks, sometimes it's gonna whiff.
Roberto says the difference is that down 3 is 16 frames and full crouch down forward 4 is like 20 frames if you insist on using it as a low poke for some goddamn reason.
That's not how you fucking... The only way you can reasonably use it, because you don't really have a good crouching mix to threaten with now, that while standing 2-3 was nerfed. The only way you can use it is if you transition into crouch from a different move like 1+2 or down 3. Or from a slide. You can't really use it from neutral like that. Not very well.
Or a heat engager.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Can I see the argument that move might be a little bit unsafe? I can see the argument for that move. I can see the argument. Could it be maybe -13? Sure. But is it a bad low? No. I've seen far worse lows. So anyway.
The point is that it's not really bad lows. It's that they're not really doing all that much. Like you can't do any pressure from it.
Moving on to the next one. Now this brings me to Lee's down.
Which would be good if it was fucking more like Tekken 7 or an improved Season 1. But right now it just doesn't do fucking shit for you.
Back 3.
Well, and it's like he doesn't even check what you can do on hit after that.
No, well,
he just takes a look at the startup frames and on block and maybe on hit if we're lucky. And that's all he looks at.
But I don't think there's any point in like being even upset by this opinion because it's not a valid criticism in any way. Because like you can see the quality of the criticism on, for example, on any character or just in general is if they're complaining about this one specific thing, it's probably going to be, unless it's like really specific, you have to make a good case, and not how those little things interact with each other. So how does this change Lee's gameplay, and then what does that lead to? Not like, oh, this is now you can spam it. Well, demonstrate that it can spam it.
Yeah,
you can spam it.
Exactly. He does not. He just takes a look at the move in a vacuum, and that's it. Your video is my main source
just looking
of
at the stats.
Hold on. Your video is my main source of info about Season 2 only after my 2 hours on Tekken 8, which I promptly uninstalled and switched to Tekken 7 and Tekken Tag 2 and Tekken 6 and Tekken 5 Online 3. Yeah, dude, I'm not playing it anymore either. I reinstalled it now because I might need to record something when I make the actual scripted video for this. But it's not fun. It's not fun at all, and it's broken as shit. Like,
I don't think this dude has a valid criticism so far, not even flaming, to be honest. I'm legit shocked. I am not shocked because
2 hours of Season 2, yeah, fair enough.
I was shocked previously by other opinions on some other things which are just like demonstrably hilarious if they are true. So if the criticism is true, then it is hilarious that it is true for that person, and we will maybe make a video about that later because it's actually goddamn hilarious.
By the way, I am flaming this guy. Like, I'm gonna call him all sorts of names when I make the video.
No, like there's no need. Like,
no, I'm gonna do that for funsies. I'm gonna do that just to be, try to be a little bit funny, try to insert some of my trademark humor. But that's not for an attack on him as a person. However, there is plenty about him as a person that you could criticize.
I mean,
and I will, and I have. But let's continue.
I mean, you can make him, valid guess where it's like it would be completely fine. Like if I made this fucking video, it's like, okay, yeah, so this is my personal Tekken blog, and these are the lead changes that Lee is pissing me off, and I don't like that these moves were buffed like this, and then this is my opinion. Sorry, guys. Like, yeah, if I pissed anybody off, but I feel like this is oppressive or horrible or whatever, and then we have a conversation in the chat, like, or the comment section where it's like, no, you idiot, that's not like exactly how this gels together.
Yeah,
that's fine. But he presented himself as an expert at the beginning, where he said, like, I have 30 years of experience in this game, and I am an expert at breaking down characters.
Yeah.
So far, he has broken down nothing, but just read directly from his user interface what the properties are, and maybe knows
exactly
what the suboptimal follow-up
There is no breakdown here. He is literally just reading, and he doesn't even know what the frames mean.
Exactly. This is my personal blog. As a Tekken blog. As a beginner, sends a very different message. And 30 years of experience.
It's the same 30 years of experience that I've seen other people do. Like, when they say 30 means years of experience, they mean, I've played Tekken a couple times since the first one.
Well,
I played Tekken 1.
I have 27 years of experience because I played like Tekken when I was 3 years old. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I fucking played way more Tekken than I'm sure he has. And I only started in Tekken 3. I skipped Tekken 4 until recently.
No, I played Tekken 3 barely as a kid, and then I stopped playing fighting games until I played a little bit of Mortal Kombat, like in 2014, 15, something like that, with you, I think.
Yep.
And then he kept showing me Tekken, and I was like, no, fuck this shit.
Yep.
Tekken
and
7.
With that little experience, you're way more knowledgeable than this supposedly 3-decade-long Tekken player.
3 fucking decades? What the fuck?
I use Silver Low a lot. I mentioned on a BP video it helps with his full crouch mix-up with while standing one. Yeah, it does, and I did say that's how you gotta use it now. But after some experience and after the more changes to the stepping and everything, it's really not that good. It's just barely usable, but it's really not that good. I even still revert to using it like it's minus on hit still sometimes to hopefully try to get them to whiff
We've
something.
been paused for a very long time now. Let's keep going.
Let's look up his wave rank. Yeah, you can look up his wave rank if you want. I think that's gonna extend the video way longer than I want to.
I am very interested if you can
now, this
look
move
that up.
by itself and on the surface is not what you would call a sexy, strong low attack. What this low attack is for, it is used to set up Lee's other attacks. This is why you see a move like this. Even Raven, for instance, Raven's down 3. It's a very small, unassuming low. Raven's is like 15 frames. It's a 0 on hit. Does like maybe 10 damage. But it's designed to get someone to press buttons.
Yeah, too bad you fucking lost a lot of your useful evasion.
Nice.
You
could nice to Chad Blaze.
So what it was, right? It's -1, which is a nerf from the Tekken 7, but it has some more mind games. So what you used to do is like you put yourself at -1, and then if they go for DF1 or something, you catch them with your jabs. Or rather your magic 4 counter hit or your 2-3 counter hit. Or if they go for a jab, you do down forward 2 and you fucking launch them because you crushed their jab with your down forward 2.
Like, this is pointless. He can go through like every single move has pros and cons. Like, we can go through the entire move list this way. The thing is, if you're interested enough in don't use your years of knowing about the existence of Tekken as years of experience and go deep in a period of 3 to 4 years, you're a much stronger player.
Yeah.
His main characters in rank is Raven and Jack. I am not surprised.
The video has been stopped, John. It's been stopped for way too long. We can't keep stopping the video.
But no, let's start maybe skipping some shit over.
And it's the same thing with Lee, as I'm about to just demonstrate very shortly. So yes, again, while this low is it does 12 damage. On counter hit, I believe it does 14.
Oh wow, it does 14 damage with counter hit, because a counter hit does 20% extra damage. That's really fucking significant.
Yeah, counter hit does 14 damage. So the point of down back 3 is to elicit a response from your opponent. And once in
and you can't fucking do anything with it now because they nerfed his fucking DF2.
DF2, yeah.
Aerial could look like this.
No, it's the back 3.
Yeah, feel free to try and launch him from that anytime. Yeah, take your time, Red. You can try to launch him from that.
So as your opponent is gnashing a retaliatory strike after getting hit by this move, the
well,
down 3
don't fucking press if you're hit. What?
Crush.
Especially if you don't know what the move is. Some moves are plus on hit, but like if you don't know exactly if the move is, if the move is minus on hit, not plus on hit, don't mash. Generally, if you get hit, don't. That's the first thing. Like, I've taught some people a little bit of Tekken who came over. Who came by my come by generally. And
don't
the first thing that
hit.
I teach them,
basically.
Yeah, don't mash if you're hit. Yeah, basically.
You do something else. You can simply do this as well. You can.
Oh yeah. They can jab check you and then see that you're power crushing and then duck and launch you. Fucking.
Add in your armor attack. So if your opponent happens to do like a hop kick to try to time you from doing the down 3 follow up, you can instead change up your routine by just simply doing a armor. And lastly, if you really just want to keep it really safe and position yourself.
Yeah, or step. Fucking your +1. At least super linear. Step, launch. There's about 1 billion option selects for any given move that Lee does.
You can just simply side
okay.
Oh, okay. So what if they use a fucking DF1 which typically tracks to one side?
No, it should stun you after you land the hit. It should stun you for 15 seconds and allow for unblockable. I think that would be balanced.
Season 1 Bushin, I am genuinely surprised. Well, I'm not surprised. It was super easy to fucking rank up in Season 1 until like Tekken King, and then it's a little bit hard.
Surprised.
Okay, what if they do anything else? What if they do literally anything fucking else?
No, I'm kind of like,
ultimately,
what the fuck?
Yeah, okay, you sidestep and launch with DF2, but before you could just launch with DF2 if they jab. Fuck, I'm so fucking done with this.
Okay, let's keep like I wanna like hear what his main point is.
This move down back 3 from Lee, like I said, it's not something super amazing. It's not sexy. It's not gonna stop the world. It's not gonna, it's not gonna set the world on fire, so to speak. But it is designed to get your opponent to retaliate against you. It is meant to be a setup to another tactic. That's why Lee has that particular attack. And also, more importantly...
Yeah, but, other characters just fucking lock you down with a similar move.
The move is -12. So this is a low attack. While not amazing in and out of itself, it is safe from being launched. Let's move on to the next level.
Safe from being launched, but not safe.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's... yeah,
you
amazing.
can still eat 45 damage. Like what? Like actually what?
Oh, it's also safe from...
what was my...
It's very specific, but, it's also safe from being launched unless you're playing against the Dragunov who's in heat currently, and then he fucking launches you.
Yeah.
Because he has a now 12-frame launcher now from crouch.
No, but I don't understand, like, he considers everything that isn't launch punishable as safe.
Yeah, fucking hell. Hits him with a low plus on block, then he's surprised when his jab gets stepped.
I'm very curious as to how he even reached Bushin. Like, Bushin is full of complete idiots. Just the whole of blue ranks is full of some very interesting players to fight, but also quite a lot of like complete morons, and mostly coming from the characters like Raven. I even sort of like I'm okay with, but you can reach. pretty far with Raven with just a few things if your opponent doesn't know,
yeah,
like hasn't left
he's
him for
very
16
difficult to
milliseconds.
read, very difficult to read as a character.
But they are like stupid Raven players are like I just consider them as free wins because their stance transitions are so obviously like all of them have the exact same flowchart of that like when he enters that fucking ninja stance and then goes immediately for the lows like 16 times before they try to change it up into like a 2 out of that.
Slow attack on the list that I see is down back both kicks or down back right kick left kick, and it's this move right here.
Down back both kick. Fucking. Why is he speaking like a Japanese person? In the English speaking world, we use 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a minor gripe, but you know.
Now, personally, I really like this kick because some of the best lows in the game.
Yeah, I liked it in Tekken 7 as well, but here it does not bring them any closer. You can't keep up your offense after that anymore.
Jack and Raven are filled with knowledge checks in a way that they are either annihilate their enemy 2 rounds into in a row or lose 1 round and leave when they realize their opponent knows their bullshit.
Yeah.
That's my experience as well, especially in those. Like I didn't play. I avoided ranked as much as I could. I tried to like get to a high enough rank where I can play just quick matches of people of similar skill. But I started just getting very angry at the game. Towards my end of like when I was playing because I was just getting frustrated by characters that I didn't want to spend like time learning because I didn't find them terribly fun.
Yeah.
Characters like fucking Dragunov, where it's like, I gotcha, you didn't know about this. Oh, it's okay, fucking, I'm not gonna even bother learning it, but it's just gonna keep going, and then I'm just happy when I play against the familiar cast, so people who played as people played in like Tekken 7 so that's like Lee, Kazuya, and the others.
You know, so 20 to 22 frames for a low attack is pretty damn good.
No, that's actually reactable. Maybe not online on bad connection, but that is indeed reactable. If you can't react to that, then you're a remarkably average person, not an average fighting game player. It's also that it's not super rewarding unless they fucking press. Again, it's just a small poke. It's a decent move, but it's not fucking as good as he makes it out to be.
This move is 21 frames, but it also has 2 additional active frames. That's why it showed.
Again with the fucking active frames. I can't even, in practice, I can't get that to land on a later frame. You know, just barely, maybe. I've tried distance, I've tried access. It's very difficult to actually have that active frame.
No, but obviously, like all of the, like I said, I mean, we could be here all day basically. So I think we should maybe start just like skipping over a little bit, because I want to hear his later thoughts.
23. So this move is actually active for 2 additional frames afterwards. Also, this move does 19 damage, which is actually very strong. It is +4.
I have an idea what you can do for a video with this, but not like make a direct call out video or even like I don't think this bears is worth a response. But I think you should do with
I didn't either, but apparently my viewers came out in droves and said that they wanted it.
Yeah. But here's an idea, and maybe like since we have some of your viewers here, make a video similar in like how this looks, but just do Raven and go through some of his options and pretend even for the ones that do have counterplay that they have absolutely no counterplay and that your opponent can do absolutely nothing about it. Even especially for the most obvious things.
Okay.
Just read off the
just read the
numbers are. Yeah, the frame data, and then present that as like, oh yeah, this move is +5, so that means you just die forever.
You should do a compilation of all the moves he complains about and show a bunch of clips of other characters with the same moves or better. I could, maybe, that's a neat idea. I could do a little bit of that in the video. Because I definitely kind of plan to make a scripted video on this, and but yeah, we'll see. Because I wanted to extract some entertainment value out of this motherfucker.
The one thing I would say, and I would
this is entertaining,
is this. Now, this right here, I feel
it's entertaining because I'm doing it with a friend, and I have some viewers, and there's that other asshole we fucking I hang out with just now. But as Yahtzee said, dying of cancer is tolerable with friends. And that's what this is. This guy's fucking giving me cancer, and I can, kind of fight through it because I have people I like around me.
Cancer? Playing a video that just gives you cancer.
It's not
Honestly,
nice.
there could be an argument that perhaps this low could have been an actual high crush low.
Yeah, I mean, it could have. Looking at the animation, oh, but guess what? Animation doesn't mean shit because all his moves that he ducks all the way down to the ground, well, they don't have any evasion anymore. So, but Lee isn't bad,
Based on what I can see from the animation, I feel this low could have been a high crush, but that's neither here nor there. Maybe in the future they'll change that. But for right now, let's see what this move does on counter hit. So
But that's not why you add. That's not why you add a high crush property at all. You don't add it because the animation looks as if it's a high crush. You add it because you need a high crush in that situation.
Yeah, but you know what you don't do? You don't do a fucking move that shows him basically going fucking prone and then removing all the high evasion from it.
No, but that's like a fundamental misunderstanding. Like the reason why crushing moves even exist is to standardize, like, because you have different, like you have fucking Jack, or you have Kuma, and even they need crushing moves, or otherwise they like suffer greatly as characters. And they did, I think, in some past games, if I remember my history about it a bit. But like that's not why you don't add it, because of the looks. They're kind of secondary. Well, even tertiary.
I mean, I do hate when the character has a super unclear animation, but it's besides the point. You think about mechanics first, and then you do need.
No, you know what they should have done? Honestly, how I would buff this move, I would add like about half a screen full of particle effects that linger for like a second. There, I think that would.
I don't think I made a clip of it, but you guys can probably try it yourself if you didn't uninstall for some reason. I'll show it in a video maybe. That new Brian's move, Neo Grim Reaper, I think, whatever, the mid one. It just fucking throws a smoke grenade into your face. And I sidestepped it once and couldn't see what was happening because of all the smoke that literally completely covered Brian. I could not see what was happening, so I missed a fucking launch punish on that.
I mean, that's actually an interesting, maybe just to try out like a character concept where you do play around with visibility, but like I don't like that very much. But it could have been worked in maybe somehow.
Well, certainly better than fucking Clive. Then again, he already does that, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
You can make a full 20-minute video. No, dude, I could make a full 20-hour video just showing ways to counter the shit that he mentions. Like Lee has everything, a single thing you do against Lee's a fucking option select now. I swear.
Yeah, let's keep going.
And the damage is now 22 damage, and it leads to a guaranteed follow-up of the blazing kick for 41 damage. Let me see. Is there something else I can know? Oh, okay. Look at that.
Yeah, you want to check if that's a launcher? You want to check if you can convert into combo of that? Or are you just going to leave it at that? Yeah, place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Place your fucking bets.
Oh boy, gambling.
Yeah, we don't have enough of that.
I bet I'm going to put 40 on launch that he tries it. No, 40 on that he doesn't try it, and 60 that he tries it. Come on. I know I'm very good at gambling. Let's see if I win.
I thought of that because you can do the same thing with Raven. When you do Raven's counter hit down back 4, and you do the heat snap, they activate heat. So who knows what Lee can get out of that situation?
Who knows what Lee can get out of... Well, you have Lee right there. You want to maybe try? You want to try just to do a tornado? No?
You utilize your heat. You could just simply, what I can see, just do blazing kick, and that's 41 free damage for you. And most importantly...
You want to try a blazing kick after that to see if it tornadoes?
This move is only minus 13. So all of the benefits that you get for a low attack that's only minus 13, that is very strong. I think that is a...
all the benefits.
Oh, that's me.
Very strong attack. So let's move on to the next low attack. Now, this one is pretty interesting because it's quite tricky. And I do believe, depending on the skill of the lead, you can do this very quick and probably have no telegraph. I'm not that good at it. But it's basically...
Wow, he was really struggling to do that. No telegraph, it's a 21 frame move. Fucking...
You tap forward.
It's on the edge of reactable.
Dash, that's pretty cool from Lee that you don't have to do an actual quarter circle forward motion to do his dash, just simply tap forward. And then when you tap forward, tap back, he has a sway. Now, what I will say about this particular thing, I do feel that Lee should be able to have an actual manual input to sway back by himself. Like just like how Brian and Paul can just quarter circle back, I feel they should have gave that to Lee. That I will give Lee players. And maybe it's one that you guys haven't even thought of.
I never heard of a Lee player ever request that.
Yep, that would... What? Okay.
Because I do feel it's kind of weird that you have to dash forward first and then tap back to get access to this. When you're in...
No, it's not weird because you use it for the instant while standing moves that are crucial to his combos.
that particular.
Yeah, for somebody who pretends to be very scientific about this and look at the objective facts and is an expert in breaking down characters, he's doing a lot of feeling instead of thinking.
Backswing position,
okay.
and you do right kick, you have access to this low. Now this low, as you can see, it is 20 damage, it is 21 frame startup, it does have one additional active frame, making it 21, and it can make contact on the 22nd frame, and also it is plus 5.
Again with the fucking active frames. Oh my fucking god. Okay, from now on we're just gonna fucking ignore that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just gonna face desk ourselves when he says that, and we're not gonna acknowledge it any more than that.
Which is very, very good. Now, what does this move do on counter hit? This move actually gives you a plus 12 situation. Plus 12.
Yeah, and you have.
Wait, correct me if I'm wrong. You don't actually use it from this. You use it out of like when you enter a misstep from a move or from something. You can use it. You don't
can
just
try.
Like, throw it out in neutral.
It's kind of risky to try it out in neutral because it's very slow. You have to misstep, backsway, and then do it. So the 21 frames is not really accurate. It's closer to 30.
Yeah.
But if you use it properly, if you bait them into something, you can get something good out of it.
But it's super fucking slow. So okay, that's what I.
Slow.
And that's guaranteed. Okay. You can pretty much
and linear, of course.
Follow up with 10 to 11 frame attacks, and it will be guaranteed. For example, that's guaranteed.
Yeah, you're not gonna go into heat and demonstrate that you can do acid rain off of that, or that. Is he gonna show the heat engager?
That's guaranteed. So
that's guaranteed, dude. Do the fucking machine gun kicks, the heat engager. Somebody who has 30 years of experience in breaking shit down doesn't even know what Lee's capable of at all.
You get the point.
Imagine playing the game for 30 years and only reaching fucking Bushin.
Is the 30 years of experience still in the room with us? You can use it, but it's not even Tekken 7 counter hit launch version. Yeah, in Tekken 7, this used to give a full combo on counter hit. And I didn't really mind that they removed some counter hit launchers. I think it was pretty good still, or at least, decent in Season 1. And I was happy with what I could get off of it. And it was really fancy when you get a counter hit on that and then you do Acid Rain. But
turn the video off.
I watched the whole video. Honestly, I don't think this guy does not weighing the risk reward. No, he doesn't.
I think that gives him too much credit, as if he's actually weighing things. I don't think this is just silly. But okay, let's keep going.
Experiment with that, but that's what ends up happening when you make contact with that particular move on counter hit.
No, what ends up happening when you counter hit that is you fucking hit him with a 444 just frame and you heat engage or knock him down, or you acid rain and you get a lot of damage. Oh, but guess what? They also nerfed the damage scaling on that. It's 70% now instead of 100.
Get plus 12, and that means
he was Bushin in Season 1, now he's like Battle Ruler.
Yeah, but as we said, Bushin in Season 1 is not really impressive.
No.
Especially when you're playing characters who can get to there with only knowledge checks before you have to start thinking about how to play them.
Yeah.
And 11 is going to be guaranteed on the person that is recovering from that 12 frame stun. And most importantly, what does this move on block? This move is minus 13.
That's hardly the most important thing.
The same as down back low kicks. So down back low kicks and this sway back low, they are both minus 13. And as such, they are very strong lows.
He keeps showing Lee lows that are horribly minus on hit launch punishable is in cases like where you sidestep them. He just keeps showing that Lee's lows are actually, not that amazing.
Yeah, I think that it was rage bait, but I'm getting the impression he genuinely believes this stuff with how aggressively he defends his points
we need to start I'm gonna start my channel and I'm just gonna rage bait people. Just pick up a random fighting game and then just claim that the most. Look up the most difficult or the most, honest characters in that and just complain about that one. Just to piss people off.
Dude, so many people got pissed off when we did that joke tier list where I put everybody in bullshit. And they actually thought I was being serious about that, despite fucking obviously being just a fucking troll just for fun.
Yeah, let's keep going.
You make fun of people who just complain about everything.
We can just keep this going on. Okay, here's my suggestion: we keep this playing, and then like it doesn't matter what this guy is saying, so we can keep it muted until we see something interesting while we're talking. Is the only way we're going to get through this video.
Particular attack, as well as the backsway and the forward dash, they each have high properties, and I will demonstrate that right now.
Okay, he's gonna make
just leave it going.
Right
we'll see what he does, but we'll just mute him because
again, he's only showing like what happens if they fucking
no, just
jab.
mute.
It's basically muted.
No, but play and mute. Yeah, like that.
He's only showing what happens if you try to jab check after. He never does a fucking mid to see what happens. You know, because Lee is incapable. Lee is incapable of blocking in misstep or backswing.
Because, I mean, that's just he looks at the properties of the moves, and then he's like, oh yeah, this is exactly what this is what this is made to play against, and therefore this is what it was always going to happen.
Yeah, that basically summarizes him pretty well. Okay, so let's hear his assessment, and I promise I'm not gonna pause until he finishes his thought. Okay, let's not turn this into EFAP.
Okay. Do I feel that Lee Chalan has the worst lows in the game? No, I do not. He does have some very solid lows. Are some of them launch punishable? Yes. Are all of them launch punishable? No. If I'm looking at his 13 frame low attacks, really only Kazuya and a very, probably, I don't know if there's anybody else that launches in this game at 13 frames, but he's really the exception. He's not really the rule. If you want to argue and say the down 3, the slide, you know, those moves that are 15, negative 15 and higher, you can make an argument for that. However, those moves do carry additional benefits that I believe balances things out, especially if you make use of all of his low attacks and not just favor just one. So I believe that it's a bit exaggerated when I hear Lee players say that their lows are absolute trash. I believe 100% that is an exaggeration. Let's move on to the next phase.
Okay, who has worse lows than Lee?
Heihachi, I guess.
Also, the problem, yeah, but so the problem is like Lee having bad lows is by design. It wasn't like. It's not.
I don't
like
think
a point...
we've even been saying that he has bad lows. We were saying that he does not have any really threatening lows. Because nothing knocks down.
Yeah, because that's the point. Like the problem with Lee is that he wants, like he mentioned, he almost like touches on like realizing the point of all of that is that Lee has trouble with opening characters up. So if he had really strong lows or even like good lows, that would be terrifying because then he would be able to poke you to death very quickly. But like having almost okay lows is exactly what Lee needs to function as a character. Like as also like Heihachi. Imagine if they started giving Heihachi good lows.
Yeah, like they fucking gave Reina,
okay,
you know?
Lows.
Another character who had no good Reina. Lows and then she got good lows.
Yeah, like you ruined the idea of the character because the whole point, like especially what I loved about Heihachi in season 7. Was that you can't
Tekken
really
7.
go bullshit. Yeah, in 7. Well, in 8 there are other things that I kind of like, but no. So, sorry. Is that you have to condition your opponent so that you can use the main moves like the damaging shit. You have to condition them into it. But if you had good lows or okay lows, that would completely break that because then I'm not even conditioning you. I'm just poking you to death.
Yeah.
And threatening you with death. If you don't challenge the pokes, like what?
Yeah. Okay. Austin says that the HMS 1-on-1 argument is gonna make me scream. Well, I guess thank you for warning me. It doesn't make me feel any better. But point is, Lee doesn't have super threatening lows. In Tekken 7, he could knock you down. In Tekken 8, he can't, and I wouldn't really mind that. But his lows are just. Really not doing all that much. I also noticed he didn't mention back to the 3, by the way. Like that's if anything, I expected him to talk about that only, because that's the one fucking move that people were crying about.
Yeah.
And it already showed that it has a billion fucking option selects after. Yeah, the frame advantage is fake, and whatever you do after that, you just fucking risk getting launched. And it's it whiffs on hit, constantly.
Okay, well that's just broken, but
and it got damage nerfed, so now it does 18 damage, which is
let's keep going. Yeah. Let's keep going.
So one of the other things I heard that League players complained about was the loss of the heat engager, or the heat engager element or aspect of Hitman up 3 or up forward 3, whatever, right? Now, I just want to say that this attack has been buffed according to the patch notes from whatever damage it did prior. I don't know what it did prior, but now it does 32 damage on hit. So while you lost the heat engager aspect, you have a 30 frame damage attack that is a perfect low crush. It's a mid, It comes out at 20 frames, and it is completely safe on block. As you can see, this move is -9 on block. Oh, and it also...
Yeah, it's -9 on block. You all have to hold
your
back
turn.
after that. And
Yeah, you end your
I've
turn.
thought about this move not being a heat engager anymore a lot. And I was like, it's all right. It doesn't matter too much. I was switching on it. I've come to the conclusion it's actually pretty terrible that it's not a heat engager anymore. Because that was the one... here's what tipped me over the scale. That was the one thing you had from Hitman on Oki at the wall to just that you can throw out in heat and, you know, maybe keep some sort of pressure. Because that was your mid. Like, if they roll, you can catch that, and they either duck and you hit them or launch them, or you take your +5 at the cost of the rest of your heat. Now you can't do that anymore.
Roberto says in Tekken 7 he can knock you down with Hitman 4, though I can't recall the last time I hit Hitman 4 on someone who was really, really good.
Yeah, like there's plenty of people who just react to that. Because you can... Essentially, you can even kind of fuzzy guard it. Maybe not
People
really, but
back,
I've had people who blocked every single one of those, and it wasn't
disrespect
cheats.
back 3-3 so much I automatically sidestep. I assume you mean back 3-3, not back 3.
Yeah.
Losing. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I started towards the end of season 1 when I was fighting for TGS and GOD. I started just using back 3-3 and not misstepping, just to reset the distance. But it's not even fucking worth it. You can hear the sound Lee makes. Yeah, like some people don't think about that, and it is kind of a minor thing, but humans react to sound much faster than to sight, to visual stimuli. You know, it's just an evolutionary thing. So Lee having a distinct sound every time he does HMS 4 actually helps people react.
Yeah.
Does 9 chip, and if we have an understanding of chip damage in Tekken 8, we would actually know that 9, the digit 9, is actually among the highest amount of chip damage a singular move grants you in Tekken 8. Most moves in Tekken will give you maybe 4 chips.
Yeah, but you also completely fucking loses your turn, so if they just do a jab string after that...
They're irrelevant because, like, as if, like... so much fucking chip characters in the game, and Lee's like,
yeah,
okay, whatever.
Dude, 9 chip, okay, but here's what happens. You're -9, there's literally nothing you can do after that. You're just gonna get hit, basically. Oh, they do a jab string, they do a DF1 string. Oh, they just recovered that 9 chip damage you did to them. Big fucking deal.
Yeah. And the mental stack as well, because you also have like a mental disadvantage because you just block that. You know that you're -9. If I'm Heihachi, I can even risk throwing out like a back 2, not fully charged, and just regain basically all of it immediately.
6 chip.
Because you're not gonna press because you're -9.
-9, yeah, you don't fucking press the -9.
Chip. 9 chip damage for this. And it actually has 2 additional...
Look how many fucking times he did it and how... Look at his health bar.
9 chip. 9 chip damage for this.
It recovers, of course,
yeah,
but he didn't turn it on. But still, like...
And it actually has 2 additional frames.
It's super linear, it's slow.
Of active frames. So basically it is 20 and 22, the same as back 4.
That's not how you use the move anyway.
Is 20 frames start, but also has...
Yeah.
You fucking throw it out and...
Yeah, you try to crash their dig jab on your stance pressure, or you try to catch it on Oki at the wall. Like if you try to just throw it out like that, you're gonna get owned.
2 additional active frames, the same, the
you
exact
usually
same
use it against me after that while running 3-2 or
while running 3-4, yeah.
3-4, yeah.
To either crush your dig jab or if you're ducking preemptively to catch you on that without risking getting punished, or if I had heat before to just I could even press my advantage from that.
Yeah.
Carries over for up 3 out of Hitman, which is 20 on the first frame that it can actually make contact with you, and 2 additional frames after the fact. And again, like I said, it is safe on block, and it does 9 chip. Now on hit, the move, as I stated, does 32 damage. 32 damage in Tekken 8 is a very powerful single strike blow.
It is, but when are you gonna fucking land it?
Yeah.
We can't discount the fact that the move also wall slaps. Can't discount that as well. Now, what does this move do on counter hit?
If you get hit
nothing. It does fucking nothing on counter hit.
Yeah, it means you've either been red or you were pressing randomly.
When are you gonna fucking counter hit with a 20 frame move? Like that in their face?
Yeah.
What are they gonna fucking do to get counter hit? Like mash on -9?
38
I don't
damage
know.
on counter hit. We'll show that again.
Okay.
38 damage. So you have a 30.
Dude, he's all counter hits do increase damage. This has no properties on counter hit. Why even mention that?
I don't know.
Mr. Expert in breaking things down.
Because he's focusing like just on the bare statistics, like on the numbers themselves, and not how the numbers fit into the system itself. That's why he's saying like I'm an expert in breaking characters down. He's an expert in reading.
He's an expert at reading off a fucking table.
Yeah, exactly. It's a teleprompter basically. Like,
Damage.
we can read.
Counting.
We know what what these properties are, but you don't explain how they fit into his fucking game plan at all.
Hit, mid attack, that's a perfect low crush, wall splats, safe on block, and also does 9
Perfect
damage.
low crush. What?
Okay.
Yeah, he likes using perfect, when something evades or when something crushes a move, instead of making a distinction between evasive and crushing.
Crushing, yeah.
We have terms for those, Mr. 30 years of experience.
I fail to understand the argument how that's a bad thing and how that's a nerf. Now, if you want to complain about
I explained it.
Okay, another
Let's
video
talk about
idea. So minimal involvement from you. If you want to just do the diss video on this, is all you have to do is just download this video and re-upload it as to why whatever the fuck his name is wrong, and you just re-upload it verbatim. So it's like his video speaks for itself. Like, there you go. You go on the wall of fucking shame, right? Right up on the wall of shame without even any explanation. You just look at it and you just feel the fucking stupidity radiating off it.
And you're only plus in HMS and in range if they get hit by HMS 1, HMS 1-1, HMS 1+2, and HMS while running 3+4 HMS. And people sidestep all of those anyway. Yeah, like they sidestep.
Exactly.
All of these big mids are super slow and are punishable. At the very least, Lee will give up his turn and he gets to eat stance mix pressure. Fun. Yeah, and stance mix just doesn't end right now.
And that's exactly what happens. Like, and you'll learn that as you play against Lee. Like not like that's what happened. I kept using, like, after he was while running 3/4 Hitman. Into those punches, I think 1+2.
Yeah.
Was it? I think it's 1+2. I parried those. Then Boss started using this to try, counter that, and then I started sidestepping that, and then he started using different options, and that's where fucking Tekken happens.
Yeah. That's exactly where fucking Tekken happens, but now there's none of that.
Which is why
the other characters have either a very specific counterplay, and against Lee he has all the counterplay. Like, just pick a random option and you're probably gonna launch him after that.
And that's the problem with Tekken 8 Season 2, and that's why I refuse to reinstall it for any reason. I don't give a shit about their shitty ass battle passes, is because I just want to send a message. This is not the game that I want to play, and I think it's irresponsible of me to play it, because by playing it I am allowing them to think that this is acceptable, an acceptable direction to take the game. It is an acceptable direction to take a game, and if they want to make a game like that, sure. The fighting game genre can always use more games, especially 3D fighters, but not fucking Tekken. Call it Tekken blah, blah, or whatever. Make a fucking spin-off and do this shit, but leave Tekken as it was, because that's the fucking game. You don't play chess and then suddenly, like, the fucking queen shoots rockets out her tits. I don't know why I keep using chess as an example, because it's a funny game, but still.
Let me just catch up on some of these comments. The only case you have for using that move is maybe after up for 3/4 HMS. Yeah, I suppose, like when you get some plus strings from that now. There are better moves to use.
But he's showing it as if you're going to do it.
Yeah, I'm already playing Tekken 7 now. I don't know about if Zed plans to, but honestly, we have a lot of games we could play right now.
Yeah. No, but the problem is that he's pointing this out, like this move out, as if you use it out of neutral, as he has shown for all of these moves.
Yeah, he
completely taken out of context.
Completely. Devoid of any context, devoid of any actual situations that you're going to find in the game. Just, he uses all of them in neutral, and maybe he has Victor do a jab string after that.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the extent of his breakdown. Breakdown. Dun, 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 dun.
The other thing that gets me is that he thinks that moves that are 20 to 25 frames are fast. Yeah.
Dude, you react to that. Gamers react to that shit. Maybe not with lag, but like in real life, people react to that. 200 milliseconds.
It doesn't even get require. I can't remember the numbers now, but I did them just out of interest a few days ago. It's just around like normal human reaction speed without lag, admittedly, but even with lag, you can still sort of like almost. If you have enough experience, you can react on it.
Yeah.
Offline, I think it's actually pretty reactable to be
Yeah,
to be able to react to 21.
If you're looking for something, you can react to even faster than 20 frames. If you don't have lag to contend with, then 20 frames is reactable if you're focused enough and trained enough. Which gamers always we have a lot of experience.
You don't even have to be like it's fine. Like I am okay with Tekken being more approachable, but this is not the way to do it at all. But this is a separate discussion, I think. Let's keep on with
his experience with League players consists of back 3 merchants and flourish. I don't think it does, because he hasn't even talked about back 3.
Yeah. At all.
So in terms of Lee's heat engagers, as I explained about Hitman Up 3, that heat engager now has been transferred over to his Hitman 111, which a lot of Lee players seem to not like. However, I do find it very interesting that maybe there are players that seem to forget that Law also has a heat engager that is 111. Now, while his comes out in 10 frames...
Yeah, one that you can counter hit confirm, I'm pretty sure.
And his ender is...
You can't confirm this one.
Mid, and it's unsafe. Lee is a high. However, Lee's is safe at -7. So -7.
Oh my fucking god. Austin, you did not prepare me for this.
Wait. Okay, so I don't know too much about this. Is it jailing?
No, the first 2 hits jail.
Okay.
The third one is a fucking high. It's a fucking high! And the previous one's like 12 frames, 14 frames. That's already fucking 26 frames!
Yeah, okay. Okay, you know what this tells me? He gets completely trapped by Victor's like 2-2-2-2 loop, basically.
He does. It's like,
and trades with Jack.
It's fucking trades with jabs. It's 26 frames before that the third hit can even come out, and then I don't remember how much how fast the third hit is, but there's also no mix. He can't go to a mid from that. Like he can go mid from a single jab, but and it's not even scary unless you press like a retard. Nigga, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, I don't think you can use it.
I already fucking used it. I'm gonna keep using it, especially when he fits the description. Ignorant motherfucker.
Is this your bridge? Is this your bridge?
No, I already said it as a joke in the very popular Lee season 2 changes video. But I'm using the Boondocks version of nigga, right? Not to refer to anyone's race. I mean, he's whiter than me. And also my fucking pony avatar is black mostly. All right, I can say it.
Yeah, but okay. Let's move away from this topic as soon as possible. Let's talk about the 111.
He is an ignorant motherfucker.
Yeah.
Now, while you can duck this, the whole point of this is you are mixing up and conditioning your opponent with Lee's Hitman 1. Because Lee's Hitman 1 is +2 on block. 1-1
Yeah, so neutral because he goes back into Hitman.
Is -2 on block, and it keeps him in Hitman. And then you can also...
Neutral.
Dash, I believe, after.
Yeah, you can misstep and fucking eat a hop kick after that because you can't block.
It's not a mixed option.
And he does the fucking slide. He does the fucking slide, from misstep.
Let's just say, since this is a very non-committal situation, let's put Victor to actually attack. Let's go through these potential situations.
Okay, are you... you think he's gonna try a mid after that?
No. He's actually gonna do the situations. Let's see.
So now we have Victor's mash jabs, which is...
No, jabs again. Because mids don't exist in this fucking game.
Let's give him a chance.
Most people's retaliation. So if Lee does Hitman 1, right? If he does 1-1, right? Now, if we know our opponent is just going to be mashy and just be a nut, this is when we just let go of the third attack. And there's your heat engagement. So now that you put the fear...
If we know.
If
we take a look at our fucking crystal ball and see that he's gonna...
No, if you know that you can know if your opponent is gonna mash, because you can play against mashers, but you don't need fucking this to beat them. Then like
You're just gonna keep launching them infinitely.
Yeah, you're just gonna fucking jab them, and then when you're gonna mash on -8, you're gonna hop kick them.
Yeah, or just jab and then down 3 against mashers, and bye bye.
Get a combo. That's more damage than this.
Hit by a heat engager, your opponent.
Or if you know they're gonna jab, you're gonna do the jab into 4, and that counter hit launches. You're not gonna do this if you know they're gonna fucking. And you can actually delay that, so you can mix them up with the timing.
And the pro, like I don't give a. Mostly, like these kinds of arguments are like, okay, yeah, nerding over a game, but my issue with this isn't that he's like just spouting bullshit. It's that he's espousing bullshit, so that he's spreading this kind of approach. Basically, with us criticizing it with him about this, people can make the argument that, oh, there's a lot of gatekeeping and toxicity in Tekken or whatever, especially when casuals or not, people who don't participate in the community look in on this, but that's not it. Like the problem is, like, bad ideas should be, or like especially from somebody who claims to be an expert, should be pushed back against. It doesn't matter if it's something as trivial as a video game, because that also like it just reflects how you approach life in general.
Yeah, he's hiding under I'm not a Lee main, but he also claims to be an expert at breaking things down.
Yeah,
you fucking, I know way more about most other characters that I never fucking touched in my life, just by learning what fighting against them. Not even labbing, just by fighting against them.
Yeah, but like, here's the thing: like, if you take a new character, unless you're fucking red ranks, like even like, unless you're like a not even an early intermediate, because an early intermediate would be somebody who is trying to learn. A late beginner maybe would be making these kinds of arguments, and that would be my case. This guy is basically at the skill level of a late beginner after 30 years of experience, because an intermediate requires, or even an early one requires at least a little bit of dedication, but an early intermediate with like actual skill, the skill that you can fucking develop. But this is just completely wrong. If you take a new character that you haven't played, you can still intuit certain situations out of their moves. So you get this move, okay, these are these properties. Let's try and set up some situations and figure out how that flows into other moves. And you will learn more about that character in like an hour and a half of labbing without even any resources than with this fucking bullshit where it's just like absolutely divorced from reality or anything sensible. It's not even about being complete. This is just being delusional, basically.
Yeah.
And posing as
I'd
an
be
expert.
very lenient with him if he prefaced the video like, I'm not very knowledgeable about Lee, I don't play Tekken too much, I'm not really that good. But no, he's positioned himself at the start as an expert. And if he was a noob, I would just, calmly explain to him. And, people have tried, but in the comments he just keeps arguing and rebukes them. And he's when he gets bored of it, he's like, no, I have data and you're wrong. Stop bitching, bitch.
But
that's why I'm gonna call him every fucking name in the book.
It will eventually stop mashing, and it will start.
This fucking lemon, this actual fucking egg salad.
Look like this. Now your opponent will no longer start mashing because they are concerned about that last hit. Now they may try to time you by trying to preemptively duck because that last punch is a high. So either way, it doesn't matter. They have not mashed after your initial hitman 1-1.
Yeah, they just duck, and you have nothing to do after. They just duck.
Again, like they haven't. No. The focus on his, like, play at his level, and you'll start to understand. Yeah, he said if they mash, he's trying to catch mashers, and like I said, late beginner phase basically.
Yeah.
So basically, just like, oh, maybe I can do some moves to protect against mashers. That's late beginner thinking. Like, oh, maybe you're starting to connect some dots. Or a dot.
He's not even talking about HMS 1.4, yeah, which is, as I said, is a counter hit launcher. If you want to shut down mashers, that's what you fucking do. Not this. Because that's also delayable.
Okay, well, let's continue. Your opponent how the way you see fit at that point. However, another scenario can be like this. You can also throw it an...
Yeah, and again, jab check. It's a power crush, so that's a high duck and launch.
Yeah.
He keeps doing it, but he's not noticing it.
No, because again, late beginner, not early intermediate even. Because an early intermediate would be like, oh, can I maybe duck and launch this?
down back 3.
It doesn't
So
even
it-
catch the jab
Yeah,
check. It's so
it's not even a single jab check. It's a 1-2 jab string.
Yeah. I think I remember that.
opponent is mashing and they happen to be doing a slower type move, or they just happen to want to just go YOLO into a hop kick, this will keep you safe. Now, of course, they can still time you and actually crouch under it and launch you, but then again, there's very few situations in Tekken in general that are 100% guaranteed. So it is up to you as a lead player to condition your opponent and to make proper reads against your opponent. Another thing that you can do as well is you can just simply do Hitman 1-1. So now I want to move on to a maneuver that I...
Oh,
yeah, and you did a little bit of damage, didn't even fucking catch the
saw in the patches that really
Let's keep going.
Leads
Fucking,
forward
I'll get him
Now,
fucking
this move, whatever it was before, I think it was
actual
minus, I think it was 17 or 18 frame startup, or whatever it was, but right now, it's a 15 frame starter, and it is +2 on block. And if you hold forward to dash forward, right, doing Lee's dash, it now becomes +5.
Fake.
This isn't even
it's
how
the
you
same
lab.
situation. I've talked about this a million times. They can options. They can sidestep you after that in either direction.
He can't
depending on what you do,
understand
and
what
launch
you're
you.
saying. He can't understand what you were saying.
Now, I really like this move, and I think this is a very effective move. As you can see, it is a...
Yeah, I kind of like this buff, but because it's usable, but yeah, it's a high as well. You know, but no tracking.
It's no
Yeah,
tracking.
I said in my wishlist video, I didn't really want this to increase in its fucking speed. I wanted some tracking on it, and you know, the follow-up I got, that's nice. I wanted fucking tracking. You know, not to both sides, either to the left or to the right. I don't know, one or the other.
15 frames.
Or like something that you can actually use after that without risking your entire life, but no.
No, I know what you actually needed. It needs to go.
It needs to
plus
guard
on
break
block,
for a guaranteed launch, is what it needs.
No, plus on block into a new stance that either launches guard breaks or does like a power low.
You can use it as a tornado option in combos now. Yeah, isn't that very nice that you can use it as a tornado? Oh, but wait, the new fucking lame-ass back 2-4-3 misstep that requires no execution just outclasses it in wall carry and matches it in damage. Yo, whoopee. Fucking... They really had no idea what they were doing with this character, and they were making it with retards like this guy in mind.
Yeah, actually, I think that's true.
4-4-3. 4-4-3 is still, or...
Yeah, you can definitely mix it with that. You know, I was gonna say that.
It doesn't push back anymore.
Yeah, no pushback. I was gonna say, like, in my first just unfiltered first impressions after I made the changes video, I was gonna say you can mix it with that, but then I got interrupted in my thought process and realized, oh wait, they nerfed that, no pushback. So if I try to mix it with that, and by the way, you can only mix it on Oki, I was gonna say, because they're both super steppable. But
wait,
now,
can you sidestep that FF2 after?
You can sidestep both FF2 and FF3.
That's what Chad Blaze asks. Is misstep 3-4 steppable after 4-4-2?
Misstep 3-4. I'm pretty sure it's steppable to one. Yeah, it's definitely steppable to one side, if not both. And it's definitely steppable.
Yeah. Okay.
I remember, and even if they try to challenge it, you're gonna trade with a jab, and they're gonna float you out of it. So again, a billion options, and they're all but one is bad for Lee, like terrible for Lee even.
I guess it's always been a heat engager from season 1, I'm assuming. I think it is, right? And so 4-4-3...
Assume he doesn't even know. He doesn't even know. Has he played Tekken 8?
It's okay. It's okay not to know. Well, maybe not after 30 years, but like it's like you go. I don't know, and then you don't try.
Is 14 frames. It is a safe mid. So what you do is you utilize your 4-4-3 in conjunction with 4-4-2. That's.
No, you could, except it doesn't push back anymore. So you're just in their face at -9, and you're gonna fucking take infinite mix-ups. And unless you're using it on Oki. But they can just step both of those moves. It's not a mix-up. It would be a mix-up on Oki if you were even remotely in a fucking advantageous position after using FF3.
Yeah, what it's designed to do. Those moves are designed to work together because, again, the 4-4-2 is 15, the 4-4-3 is 14. So that means your opponent only has one frame to fuzzy guard, which means the amount of time they have to make a different defensive decision. And one frame, quite frankly, in my opinion, is manageable.
You don't fuzzy guard it, you sidewalk it! You sidestep, whatever!
Yeah, again,
he's playing
early
2D.
late beginner. I'm telling you.
So with this particular high, you're going as the defending player. This is an attack at 15 frames. You have to preemptively be already ducking to deal with it. You're not.
No, you have to be fucking stepping.
Throw this out
It's
and
not
say,
even you heard about Tekken. Like you've known about Tekken for 30 years. It's that meme like where my cousin had a dream that his wife played Tekken once, and this.
No, it's fucking Volo in Baldur's Gate 3 when you ask him if he's removed that tadpole before. I assure you, I've dreamt of it 1,000 times over.
Back in the old days, I would hear people say I could duck electrics on reaction. That was absolute horseshit. And much like it was horseshit back then.
Some people actually do say that. Some people actually think they can duck jabs or electrics on reaction.
Horseshit today.
Okay.
So maybe if this move was 27 frames, but 15 frame high, that is +2 on block and +5.
27. That's a very fucking weird number to pull.
You know what
out.
that would mean?
You could fuzzy guard it. If it was 20 frames, you could fuzzy guard it. Not that you would want to when you can just sidewalk, but.
If you hold forward, that is a very strong move. Oh, and let's not also discount the fact.
It's not. As I said, the mix-up after that is completely fake, and Lee is probably going to get launched for trying it.
I think I did. I may be wrong and being an idiot here, but if you were able to duck electrics on reaction, you would have about the same reaction speed as a housefly. I think I was trying to figure out how what moves a fly would be able to react to, and I think I landed to about 14 frames, something like that. A housefly would be able to react to if it had the capacity to react to something, assuming no lag as well.
He's using Tag 2 frame data as references where I haven't played Tag 2, so I wouldn't know. I didn't have a console after PS2, and I played Tekken 6 on an emulator in a hospital, not emulator, sorry, a handheld on PSP. And I was still super duper casual by then. I only started getting serious and competitive in Tekken 7.
Just frame version of this move. So the just frame of that move does 10 chip damage. That's among, if not the highest single strike chip damage you can do, based on my understanding. So just like I showed you with another move that Lee has, which is Hitman up 3 that does 9 chip, the just frame of 442 does 10 chip damage. So the reason why it does chip damage at all at that level is because it is rewarding the Lee player for taking the risk, because it is a risk, for doing a high attack like this.
Yeah, it was. You know, it was also very scarcely usable in Season 1. It was a lot slower, and it made a lot of sense that it does a little bit of chip back then. But again, it's completely besides the point, considering there's really nothing you can do after that to actually threaten them without risking your entire life bar.
So it gives the Lee player just missing that if you manage to get your opponent to block this move, you can take up to 10 chip, 6 being the minimum. And you're also getting 10 plus frame, 2 plus frames, 5 if you're holding forward. And then you would simply mix that up with your safe mid-striking heat engager of 443, which is coming out 1 frame faster than your 442. So between those two moves right there, that 100%, in addition to your poking strategy, your neutral game of your 1s, your 1-2s, your down forward 1s, this should be part of your general strategy with Lee Chaolan. 100%, because it was designed to be that way. That's why
no, I was wrong.
It wasn't. You have
no, I was wrong. I looked it up. So 15 frames is theoretically exactly at the limit of human reaction speed, offline, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Theoretically,
but even if you can do that, if you're like super hopped up on caffeine and whatever else, you're not gonna be able to do that for long.
Houseflies can react to like Yoshimitsu's flash, though.
In Tag 2, unreactable moves around 10 frames to 27 frames because of how bad network and servers were in the game because of no rollback. Alright.
The start frames of 442 to go in line with 443. That is when you know you have a perfect to semi-perfect mix between.
No! Because they're both fucking steppable to the same / both sides!
Mid-low, mid-high,
you turned into Schwarzenegger there for a half second.
No! Yeah, they're steppable to both sides, that retarded! You can step it!
Frames between one move and another will dictate how strong your mix is. So for instance, if this move was 15 and 443 was 15, it would be a perfect mix. There would be no way for you to guess. You couldn't fuzzy at all.
No, it's a quote-unquote a perfect mix. Now you have one frame is not a fucking factor.
No, you can't. You heard the man. Like, there's no counterplay. You can't fuzzy guard at all. And as we all know, that's the only defensive option you have in this game. You can either fuzzy guard or die.
I'm actually surprised he knows the concept of a fuzzy guard.
But at 1 frame difference, it's pretty much no way you're going to fuzzy it anyway. Lee players will probably say, well, you know, you can sidestep both moves.
Yeah, you can sidestep both moves.
Okay, wait, let's...
And that brings me to my next point. So let's talk about Lee's tracking 1+2. This move, honestly, I don't feel it gets discussed enough. You know, for all of the complaints I hear about Lee, oh, he lost his tracking, like, look, I'm going to get into that at the end of the video, but I just want to just prioritize this move here. So standing 1+2 is a tracking, basically it's a safe tracking mid-attack. It's safe at -1. It comes out at 21 frames, and as you have seen, you know, if you've been following the video so far, it has 1 additional active frame, making it
Wait, let him finish.
Yeah,
let him finish.
21 frames. You know how he was talking about, oh, it's a perfect mix because it's they're 1 frame removed from being the exact same startup? You think he's gonna mention that this is 21 frames and therefore you can fuzzy it?
And you can step block, whatever.
Yeah, but no active frames. Also, the range, this does not have the same reach as those other 2 moves.
On the 22nd frame, 21st being the first active frame that it can land on your opponent. On hit, this move does 20 damage, and it also gives you +3 advantage, which is pretty solid. It's pretty solid to maintain your offensive pressure.
Yeah, +3 is not fucking solid here in this game anymore.
What about the moves that are tracking and put you into stance and...
yeah, and they give you a +6.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, it was nerfed to +4.
This move knocks you down, and it does 24 damage. However, not only does it knock you down, it actually leads to a full-fledged combo.
I'm genuinely surprised he knew that.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Resulting
First
in a
time he
lead
used
player
back
potentially taking
3 actually, I think,
70
in the
to
video.
possibly maybe even 90 damage from simply landing a safe tracking mid-attack that may land on counter hit, which will result in a combo.
Yeah, it may land if you read their timing or if they mash like retards when they shouldn't.
I fail to understand the argument of Lee's tracking when you have a perfectly...
There's a difference between tracking and homing, you fucking doodle!
suited move to deal with sidesteppers. That is, again, safe.
Okay,
it's a counter hit launch.
Basically everybody has a...
Everybody has homing move. When we talk about Lee's tracking, we mean moves that are not homing, that are super easy steppable to one or both directions sometimes. And this is a homing move. It's specifically designed to counter that. And yeah, Lee very much needed that because his tracking is atrocious. Even more so now after the April emergency patch.
It is +3.
But point is, it's super slow. I said it. You can just step and block everything, which is why I like the new heat move that's basically his rage drive, because you can't step and block that. I think that move is very fair. If he only had that in Season 1, I think it would have been like, maybe not S tier, but high A tier, maybe. Well, I'm exaggerating a little bit, because he still had the whiff on hit bullshit.
Okay, let's keep going.
Oh, excuse me for a moment, guys. Excuse me.
Oh, he's away. All right. Well, I just...
I'm back.
Okay.
I'm back. He wishes 90 damage on that launch. You gotta do an insane combo plus rage to get 90 damage. I think you can, if you have enough space to take to the wall and do your big boy combo, the spike, you can get 90 damage. But problem is, system changes, right? When you hit grounded, they only take recoverable damage now. And they can get up and get all of that back, and you basically did like 40% of your actual damage in real damage.
So what he saw, I guarantee you, all that he saw was maybe a YouTube short of Lee doing that, like, you know, those like giant ass combo videos where the character does 1 billion damage, but they start in rage and also counter hit, and then like do all of that, and also in perfect conditions. And he saw that and was like, "Oh yeah, this is completely unfair." But that's not what's gonna, all that goddamn often.
I don't know what you League players. I'm beginning to think that a lot of you players just want your character to be absolutely broken.
No, we want him to be functional. We want him to fucking work. We want him to not get launched because he whiffed after he hit.
You know what's kind of like one thing that I can't criticize, not about this video, but like, for example, what a bad change, well, a slightly bad change, but I like that I have it, but I actually don't like that it's there. It's Heihachi's forward 3 getting that stupid ass tracking.
Yeah, it shows for some reason now.
Which is a bad track because like it tracks way too much, even for a character that doesn't have enough tracking, but it's kind of, you know, stupid because you can still keep going into like on block. They can't really punish you, and you go into a stance and then you do bullshit. I don't like what they did to Heihachi.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either. Like there's an argument for changing up the simple jab pressure from Tekken 7, but That tracking was... I don't know why they gave him so much more tracking. Functional is the key word here. Yeah. He's just not functional. Like, he whiffs on hit all the time. After the April patch, like, I'm having his wall combo, the F4-3, whiff on the second hit, if it's slightly off axis. Like, Lee just does not actually function anymore. Like, he's broken in the sense he doesn't function, not that he's OP.
Yeah.
It's like bashing Kazuya damage purely on the perfect electric enrage. I've seen people do that. I've seen people like, oh, all the other characters do this much damage, but fucking nobody talks when Kazuya does it. Yeah, when he does a fucking down forward 2 and counter hit into perfect electric, which is one of the hardest things to do in this fucking game. And then, he also gets a wall break or something. God damn it.
I'm beginning to think that. So I want to go over just some basic general strategies. I mean, it's not going to be really...
They wanted that 4-3 to work like in Tekken 7 sometimes. Now, I don't think they even fucking tested it. I don't think they fucking tested it.
This is an interesting quick digression, I think, but it's like that specific combo doing that much damage and being that difficult to execute is exactly what gives fighting games that, like, oh shit, like when you're watching it. Like somebody, for example, dares to try that, like a very high level player dares to try that in a tournament and fucking lands it, and that's like, holy fuck, how the fuck did he do that? And that's actually hype, not going into 6 billion fucking cutscenes or stance transitions or fucking 50-50 mix-ups. That's why not a single like clip out of Tekken 8 Season 2 can even cast the fucking foggiest shadow on like what happened in, like, okay, I mean, it's a big moment, but moment 37, for example.
Yeah.
But the exact reason why moment 37 is remembered is because of how extremely difficult it is to do, and the fact that it's probably never going to be replicated again, even by the same player.
Yeah, and the other guy was also just mashing his controller to try to throw the defender's rhythm off. And he still managed to stay focused and to just do, like, what was it, like 12 parries in a row, and then to punish it. Sidewalls have been worse this patch as well. I've heard many Lee men say it. Yeah, like, they slightly fixed the F4-1, but also because of the system changes, now you can go under it sometimes, and they can go off the wall and land behind you. It's so stupid. In Guilty Gear Exard, I remember one clip which was fucking amazing, expanding what you said. If you know, you know, but he was playing Leo Whitefang, I think his name is. He did a move that can transition into a very specific block. The other guy jumped over that move and tried to retaliate, but the guy transitioned into that block and then counter hit launched him for massive damage and was super impressive. It's very difficult to do, and I was just so fucking impressed. I watched it over like 10 times in a row. But there's none of that in Tekken. That's the beautiful thing about Lee. Super hard to do normal stuff. I don't know why Bandonenka wants to make him easier. Yeah, like I am so fucking infuriated at the new combo. Not that it exists. I guess it's kind of okay-ish if they want to make it accessible. The problem is it's just better, objectively better than the back two loops. There's no reason to do the back two loops anymore because this outclasses them in wall carry and damage. That's the biggest fucking insult that Bamco did to us Lee mains.
Death, but I want you to understand something from a frame advantage standpoint, a frame startup standpoint. So you remember when I showed you, let me put them on, let me put this guy on block wall. So now when I show you standing 1+2, you know what other move is 21 frames that you can mix this up with? That's a perfect mix up. Down back both kicks. What is down back both kicks? Okay. 21 startup. 21 startup. What's standing 1+2?
They're both super slow, though.
I don't know. I'm starting to lose my fucking...
If you are looking for the down back both kicks and you are ducking, you are going to get hit by this. If you happen to block this, it doesn't matter because it's completely safe. If you block the down back both kick, it's only -13. It's a little bit of a slap on the wrist, unless you're fighting Kazuya. I could go further in
jab
depth
him out
with
of
this.
it.
I just want...
Yeah, fucking jab him out of it. How fucking plus does he has to be for that to, you know,
and he demonstrated that not a single fucking power crush will, like, stop you in that. You can duck and launch it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I gotta answer this. Yeah, to be fair, if a power crush, if it's slow enough, if you're plus enough, which I don't think this guy even considers, is gonna get beaten by the low for a decent follow-up. But I mean, they're so slow. Like, you cannot get the kind of frame advantage where they cannot challenge that shit. And in neutral, they can just choose to do a quick check and poke you out of both of those, and then you're just gonna be on the receiving end of their unending pressure.
The newer crowd to understand. When you are seeing all these...
Wait, did he say the newer crowd?
To go further in depth with this, I just want the newer crowd to understand.
The newer crowd.
Ah, okay. Let's see what he wants the newer crowd to understand.
When you are seeing all these YouTube videos of all these players that are shouting from the rooftops that Lee is this, he's in the pine box, he's dead, he's trash, he's this. I want some of you newer players to actually invest some time in the character. Go through his moves.
Not like you did.
Invest
no,
in
basically
lab
like
practice
he did just like...
And instead of focusing on what the character is missing, try to dive deeper into the benefits of what the character actually has. Because nobody...
Yeah, he has shit. He has Jack's shit.
Going to say that Lee is this top 5 character. Because I can tell you, back in Tekken 4, yeah, he was bullshit. Lee Tekken 4, oh, he was top tier. But in this game, he's minus.
I don't believe you have any idea of the power levels of any character in any other Tekken game. Because I didn't even play Tekken 4. I was not active in Tekken during that time. I know that Steve was the fucking atrocity of that game.
Is he the best? No. Is he the worst? Hell no. Are the majority of these Lee players?
Yeah, he is. He is objectively the worst now. Like, you cannot argue otherwise, if you're being honest.
Complaining that he's like this god awful.
I don't think he was the worst in Season 1. I don't think he was strong enough to, you know, contend in any sort of tournament or whatever, even though I tried and almost won. But he was not that strong. It's Lee players that made him look strong, not to toot my own horn here. But like, you could make Lee work, and he had something that can make him work. Now he just does not work anymore. All I really wanted was the bugs to be fixed, and maybe tiny little buffs and something to use heat with, but yeah.
They're exaggerating.
We are not.
And I'm believing that... I have to think that a lot of these Lee players just want their character to be absolutely broken.
We want him to fucking be functional. We don't want... I wanted everybody else to get nerfed. I didn't want Lee to get buffed. Not too much. Mostly fixed.
That's just my opinion. Let me know what you think. Again, this is just for educational purposes.
Education, bro. I'm stupider for having watched this.
No, like the only thing that I would like in all honesty.
The only new thing I learned is that you are a complete fucking imbecile.
No, just like make a tier list. Why not? Like every Tekken YouTuber makes a tier list. Just make a tier list, like, and let's see where you put Lee. I'm genuinely interested how you can make a case that any other character is less functional than Lee right now. I mean, this happens like often. Some characters get left behind, but like, it should be talked about.
He also did not touch on the lost evasion at all, by the way, which is the biggest thing that us Lee mains have been complaining about. He did not even consider it as a nerf.
Yeah.
Yo, he's saying, oh, -3 damage isn't a nerf. Oh, you know what? Is a fucking nerf completely losing evasion on DF2 that all the other fucking characters still get to keep? You know, Lars still crushes jabs sometimes with his DF1. They removed that from Lee very early on. And I've been playing Tekken 7 again. It's fucking amazing. Give it back.
Yeah, well, it's still there.
It isn't. It doesn't exist. There's no evasion there anymore.
No, I mean, Tekken 7 is still there.
But fucking... it's crazy because Lee feels more glitchy than ever in this recent patch.
Yeah,
he is more glitchy. That's partially because the game is more glitchy. I have a clip here that I'm gonna show real quick if I can. Hold on. Look at this, guys. Tekken 8 is just way more glitchy now than it ever was before.
Yeah.
And but because they have no idea what they did to Lee, they paid zero attention to him. They have no idea what they're doing. He's just completely fucking broken now, even more than he was. And he was already pretty broken. Stuff used to whiff on hit all the fucking time. And sometimes you get launched for it if they react. But
I don't even know what the point of this video was.
Anyway, take care, peace.
I don't know. I would not have made it through this without having
Did we
you here
actually
and some
sit
of the
through the
viewers.
whole thing?
We sat through the entire fucking thing.
Holy fuck.
And it only took us 2 hours.
Okay, it was, well, yeah, well, that's actually quite surprising because we sometimes go on 2-hour tangents.
Yeah, well, I sped him up to double speed
and I
this
tried
time.
to keep things going, and I'm happy that we managed to go through the entire video. God damn, that was dumb. Like, that was actually fucking retarded. Oh shit, I used that word now too. God damn it.
It's fine. Look. I have good reason to think I'm autistic, and I give you permission to say that word as much as you want, you retard.
Thanks. Okay.
Not that you needed it.
Yeah, well, it's just, I don't know. I don't see why somebody would make this kind of video. Like, do you even... What?
Yeah. Let me, while you collect your thoughts, let me catch up with our viewer comments. He feels closer to Tekken 7 Lee than ever. No, because Tekken 7 Lee actually has some threatening stuff, and he has strong counter hits. He can counter hit Magic 4 without overcommitting to it. He has a knockdown slide, which actually is very significant. I mean, I would have liked the new slide if you could actually keep up the pressure with it, but you can't. He has evasion. In Tekken 7, he has a ton of evasion. It was really good. And now he doesn't have anything. I haven't played much Season 2 to a personal reason. I haven't played it because it fucking sucks. But I've been talking to Japanese players like Kei and Jundi think Lee is strong. Yeah. You know why they think he's strong? If he's strong and they're pro players, why don't they see him in tournaments? They think he's strong because they don't lab him. And why don't they lab him? Because they don't need to, because they're never going to see him in a fucking tournament.
Yeah.
It's really that simple. Like, anybody who labs him for any amount of time will see just how weak he is and how regrettably weaker he's made. D2, DF2 is a cosmetic now. Yeah, it is. And as I've said, it pisses me off that he goes so far low, when he crouches so low when he uses those moves, and they just have zero evasion now. Well, D2 has a little bit of evasion, but it's not consistent. You can maybe go under a jab sometimes, and that's it. I can't believe that people look at Lee and say he is good. He is not. I have not heard a single argument of why he's good. Yeah, there is no argument. Like, if there's an argument, usually when they see on Twitter, they just say, yeah, he's strong, but don't elaborate. And if somebody challenges them, they don't answer. And
I don't know.
Or like, you have dumbasses like this fucking ham sandwich who fail to make a single fucking point, and then are gonna get super defensive in the comments when people try to very patiently and politely tell him why he's wrong. And I remember something here like fucking 16 chain reply, and he ends with this: worse, Lamau, unreal. This exchange, I'll be a little further. This exchange, I'll be a further waste of my time. Autocorrect, I guess, or maybe he's just illiterate. Clearly you have your viewpoint, and I have facts based on the character's design, which you have not touched upon at all.
Oh man.
And your facts are misreading the fucking frame data. The engagement to the channel is also, but yeah, he keeps going like this, and that's why I actually completely refuse to engage with him past the one reply.
Yeah, maybe the guy is actually just rage baiting, because like this is a good way to piss a lot of people off, to get in write angry comments in your video, and even if you end up being an idiot, later on doesn't matter, because you got the algorithm to pay attention to.
No, I fucking said that you don't recommend this channel. The only reason why I'm back here is because you fucking jockeys that watch my videos are riding my back and they said, hey, reply to this. You came out in droves. Okay, where's that kind of enthusiasm on my fucking tournament video?
Wait.
Okay, I'm bantering a little bit, of course, but yeah, seriously, guys, where's that kind of enthusiasm on videos I actually worked hard for?
No, but this is good. Like, look, you're being like, your job here is to be a content creator, and you're creating content that viewers might enjoy, and people like, I don't know, fucking circuses. What other videos does he have? I'm kind of curious.
I hate you for making me click on this fucking channel. Oh, he's milking this more. I'm not gonna fucking bother watching this. I'm not.
Main
He's
man
not gonna
Swee's
fucking.
Lee video.
Yeah, and
okay. No,
main
don't
man
click on that.
is completely understands that he was completely destroyed.
Yeah.
Real talk with Red Epsilon FGC coaching. Coaching in the FGC, handling tournament jitters and more. I'm not fucking listening to anything.
Look. Is Lee Chalan really?
That's what we just watched.
Yeah, but look, I am almost certain this guy was rage baiting. Look at his views before. It's like 503 views, 558. Yeah, it's like very small view amounts with very. Did he have any spikes?
There's
the
this
one,
the harsh
Tekken season 2. Yeah.
Tekken, this is why Tekken changed to be more casual. He has some spikes here or there, but he seems to produce just a lot of shovelware.
Okay, yeah, because he got like this. I'm a YouTube partner now. Right after that Lee video as well, so he probably needed a boost. Like I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
I'm not. I'm not because I saw his character, which is perfectly summarized here. And the names I call him, that's just for fun. That's just to try and entertain myself and maybe somebody else. I do actually think he is not a very admirable person. I think there's a lot to be criticized about his character. Partially how, is that the Dunning-Kruger effect? But there's the the knowledge curve, right?
Yeah, that's the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Yeah. Where it's like the less you know, the more your confidence grows. The more you realize, the more you know, the less your confidence grows.
Sort of, not exactly, because after a moment, like you can look at the curve, because after like a while, you start, okay, I do know, you don't like, see there's an upward curve later on, but the fucking valley is deep.
Yeah, the valley is very deep. I don't think this even illustrates it properly. He needs to fucking try to go into the valley. He is right at the very top here now. Plato said that Socrates said something along the lines of, I know that I know nothing. And this guy's life philosophy is the complete opposite of that. He's like, I am certain I know everything, and if somebody more knowledgeable on the subject tries to very politely challenge me on this and engage in discussion, I am just gonna dismiss him when I run out of arguments. That is his character in a nutshell.
That was
yes, I am basing on like 40 minutes of footage and some comments, but I think that's enough. I think he has demonstrated.
No, it could have been a 5-minute video, because nobody with like.
And he never talks about anything else that kills the character. Yeah, he doesn't talk about heat. He doesn't talk about while standing 2-3 nerf, which is a massive fucking nerf, actually. His new heat moves are used for what? To be plus in HMS, and look at my opponent, I'm +7. Yeah, that move is fucking useless, and I hate it because it also tracks so much, and there's nothing you can do with the fucking frame advantage. As I said, I kind of like the homing one, because it's +0, it still plays in the lees. Okay, I'm gonna try to read you and counter hit you now. And it's a little bit more homing. You can only use in heat a very limited number of times. I think it's alright. I kind of like it. The other move is completely useless, and it goes against the character's design. Well, not useless, but it's stupid. There's nowhere to go after that. Because they're not gonna fucking mash on a +6, +8, or what you are plus. I mean,
yeah, well, if this really is his position and he's not just rage baiting, then he just cares more about being right than what's good for the game. And but unfortunately, I can't even give the developers the benefit of the doubt of like watching this video and not taking it seriously, because I don't even think that they are capable of understanding why this is problematic.
I'm pretty sure they think they buffed Lee because they don't know any better. I don't know what kind of people are working on that game right now. It's so fucking buggy.
The wrong sort, obviously.
Yeah. I guess a lot of the bugs they fucking had before the emergency patch. I don't know how you missed the Jack thing. They said it was a bug. I'm pretty sure they just said it to save face.
No. No. I mean, it's a bug if you if you did the move once and we're like, yeah, this is okay, and
Yeah,
didn't even think
just
about it.
if you did it just to check if it comes out when you press the buttons.
Yeah, yeah, basically. Yeah, it's fine. Oh shit, you can chain it and you can't really step it. Oh wow. We didn't even think of that.
Doesn't fit Lee at all. Yeah, my buddy said that those moves should be perfect inputs or they should be given a new perfect input. Yeah, probably something like that would be better. The other suggestion he had was to give Lee his delayed 214 from Tekken 7. Yeah, like he lost a lot of delays as well, which is a massive shame. The 124 delay was lost. The 214 delay was lost. He kept it on the Hitman 1-4, but that's it. I wouldn't be surprised if they fucking remove it. Oh, he meant the 1-4. Okay, then. Well, both, I guess. No, I forgot if he has delay on 2-1-4 now, but it doesn't matter. It's not that good anyway. Yeah.
This just reminds me of of yesterday's discussion with Doom Eternal and what we saw. That it's the exact same thing.
Yeah, we're gonna make a video on that because that was hilarious. Yeah. And to try and tie into the Dark Ages, was it called?
Yeah, Doom the Dark Ages.
Plus, because I definitely need to start branching out a little bit now. Sorry guys if you're here for Tekken, but Tekken 8 is possibly fucking dead forever. I don't see it fixed again without a revert. So, but I do hope you will give the other stuff a chance, because I do think we can produce some pretty entertaining stuff. At which point I'm gonna, if you haven't, I'm gonna ask you to take a look at the discussion in Schedule 1 that we had about Tekken 8, because I also inserted a few of the highlights we had from the stream. I think they're pretty funny. But yeah, we'll see what comes next. I don't know. When it comes to Tekken, I'm gonna keep it going somewhat, but I'm probably gonna you're probably gonna see a lot more Tekken 7 from me than Tekken 8 at this point, honestly.
And remember, if you don't subscribe, every time you don't subscribe, the developers add another plus on block homing mid. So you keep that in mind, and may it be on your soul if we get 1,000 more.
Yeah. But I guess that's gonna be it for now. Hey, thanks everyone for tuning in. It was a lot more bearable with you guys here.
Yeah.
It was very infuriating, but it was a little bit balanced out by the fun. And I think, I've been yelling for a long time, and I just got off recovering from a cold, so I should probably stop here now. So thanks for watching. Please give our other non-Tekken related stuff a chance, and I'll keep you posted. See you soon.
See ya.